What up, lifers? What up, lifers? What up, lifers? What up, lifers? It's your boy Dave Life. It's Dave Life. You're watching the After Dark podcast. This is the After Dark podcast, episode number 297. This is episode number 297, reflecting on the life of Kobe. We're reflecting on the life of Kobe Bryant. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're with us tonight, man. So I want to say thank you, and I really appreciate that. Let's start this off like we always do, y'all. The right way. Heavenly Father, have your way, Lord. I pray that you would speak to your people. I pray that you would enlighten, entertain, and inform us, Lord. I pray less of me and more of you. Forgive us of our sins that we've committed by both commission and omission. Have your way. Charge us to our heads and not our hearts. Let us have a great conversation. We give you all the praise, glory, and honor. In Jesus' name, amen, amen, and amen. Yeah. Appreciate everybody, man. If you want to support Dave Life After Dark and Dave Life TV, you can hit us on Cash App at DaveLifeTV. Let me put that down below. See the Cash App down there, $ Dave Life TV. You can hit us on Venmo at Dave Life. We got a few people that's going to help us out today and help us discuss and reflect upon the life of Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace to Kobe. He passed away 5 years, tragically, 5 years ago this week, if I'm not mistaken, 2 nights ago. So let me bring up some people that's going to help me. I got my brother from another mother. This is the guy that said, hey, Dave, you need to talk about Kobe tonight. All right. He's a champion. He has a lot to say. Let's bring up my man, Champ. What up, Champ?
What's going on? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. How you been, Champ?
I'm chilling, man. Chilling. Welcome to After Dark with Dave Life.
Welcome to After Dark. And look, man, we talking about Kobe tonight, dog. Yo,
Bean.
You brought this up. You said we need to talk about Bean. You're like, Dave, I love the show, but you got to talk about Kobe tonight because it's that time of the year. And I said, damn, you know what? You're right, bro. You know, we got to talk about Kobe. So thank you for inviting other people to join us, man. We got a bunch of people tonight, so I'm gonna get straight to it. I got my other brother from another mother. Actually, I met you at the shop with him. You know what I'm talking about? It's my boy Estevan. S, man, come on to the stage, bro. What up, S?
What it do? What it do, man? What's good with you?
Good, man. How you been, S?
Man, I ain't gonna complain, man. You know, this is a tough month for me.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of things happening during this month. You know, not even one about dude we about to talk about, but you know, I had a lot that happened in this month. So I made it through it. I'm here.
Hey, man.
Shining.
All right. I appreciate you being here, man. All right.
Yes,
I got another brother that's a Kobe fan. It's a friend of mine. You know, I call him the conscience of the After Dark podcast. He always says something enlightening. And he made time for us tonight, man. Come on to the stage. The original Kansas City Chief fan, my homeboy, Mr. Al Tariq.
What's up, fellas? What's up? What up? What up,
What
Dave?
up with you, man? What up with you, man?
Man, a little busy, but living this life is pretty good. Things are good.
Yeah,
Wait, hey, Dave, I can't believe I'm about to do a podcast with Champ.
Why you say that?
I just thought about it. It really just dawned on me, man. Like I'm finna do a podcast with the Champ MC. That's
Here we go.
Hey, man, this is recorded. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to watch this twice.
It's recorded,
Oh
man.
my God.
This is recorded, man. Yeah,
Because he gonna say some things, man. I just thought about it. Like I said, been trying to gather my thoughts on this, and then it just hit me. I'm in the building with Champ. It's gonna be some mind-boggling, scratching things being said tonight. Go ahead.
Absolutely, man.
This is
I'm
crazy.
trying to get this thing to act right. It ain't acting right. Look at it. It's doing everything but what I wanted to do.
And then we got the fake Kansas City fan. It's gonna be.
They talking they talking real grease right now. Real grease.
Maybe I should have worn my Kobe jersey.
No, but you know what? Respect to the Kansas City Chiefs. They getting it done right now.
Respect to
front.
the
Front.
You got to beat the king. They got to knock him down.
Man.
Hey, Champ, I got a few more people, man. You know what? I'm gonna set it on this because I don't like that orange. I'm kind of pissed because I had everything perfect, bro. But anyway, we're gonna do it like that. That works. I can live with that. All right, we'll stick with red tonight. Hey, red for the Kansas City Chiefs. Let me bring up your homeboy AJ. AJ, come on to the stage, man. What up, AJ?
There we go. I'm back. Yeah, what's going on, man?
What up? What up with you?
Chilling.
Tell us who
Sitting there
you are.
listening to y'all talk crazy. It's funny.
Tell us who you are and tell us where you're from.
I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana. My name's AJ Miles. I used to play basketball professionally with like and1 and street ball, a couple people like that. Also, I wrote a book. I can go check that out. It's called Love or Fear, Wish or Motivation. And I just like love sports and love competing and like talking about Kobe.
That's what's up, man. Well, hey, man, thank you for joining After Dark. Thank you. This is your first time here. You are now a lifer. You are in the building. You part of the team, and I appreciate you.
No problem.
All right. I see a young lady. I gotta bring her up. Well, first of all, hold on. Let me stop because I can't bring up all these new people. Let me bring the auntie that everybody love. Okay, she loved talking about. You know what? She's just a rider. Yvette will ride with whatever we going with. She said, "Dave, I love Kobe, so you know what? I got something. I'm gonna add to the show. Come on to the stage, video lady Yvette."
Hello, good night. Not much. Hello, gentlemen. Hello.
Welcome back, Yvette. Welcome back. Hope everything has been doing well. You been all right?
Yeah, just super busy. Super busy. I actually just sent you a text, but
oh, okay.
but it's okay.
Yvette will ride or die, but she'll be like, Dave, I got 10 good minutes. And then she'll stay on for 50 minutes and get mad at me. So,
well, no, because it's already 11, and remember, I'm on the East Coast. I have to get up and do what I do.
So, Yvette, we started late. There's a lot of people getting everything together. So what I want you to do, Yvette, I'm going to let you go first when it's time or after champ. And then when you got to go, just wave your hand and say, Dave, I got to roll.
One of these. No, I just
put up the church hand.
Miss Yvette can go first. She can go first.
Okay.
No. I want to hear. I want to hear a little bit first about what you gentlemen have to say.
And we're still bringing up everybody. Hold on, I got two more people to introduce. Yes. All right. So I have a young man. He's in the building. He's one of Champ's guests, and I appreciate him for joining. So I want to bring you to the stage, my man, Landon Buford. Tell us about yourself, Landon.
What's going on?
What up, bro?
What up, Champ?
Might have froze just a little. Yeah, Landon might have froze. Okay, Landon.
I like when Pete Carroll froze in the Super Bowl. Yeah. Well, go ahead.
I told you. I tried to tell y'all. It looks just like
we need to take a screenshot of that. That's how he was looking with Malcolm Butler.
You know what I mean?
And I did. I just took a screenshot.
Hey, it's like straight fur ball. He got a straight fur ball.
You got a screenshot of Landon, man. That's
straight
wrong.
Fur ball. He got a straight fur ball going. Look at him. Look a little constipated there.
That's wrong. I got one more person to bring up to the stage. Now, this young lady, this is a sister from another mister. She's actually a day one lifer. She's been with At the Dark, Yvette, as long as you have. When we were on Instagram, you know what I'm saying? When we were talking crazy. Oh, hold on. Landon's back. Landon, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry.
Hey, man. Welcome to the stage, Landon.
Is that what Pete Carroll said?
I mean, you know.
Oh
is that what Russell Wilson said when he threw the interception?
It froze again. Now let's. Oh damn. Okay. All right. Let me bring my friends to the stage. All right. So this young lady right here. She's a lifer. She's been with us since the beginning when we were on Instagram, and now we've been on YouTube for over a year. She probably was back in the 20s and 30s. We're on episode 297. So come on to the stage. She's Miss Black Globe of 2018. And this is my friend, Sonia. What's up, Sonia?
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
How y'all doing?
Hey.
You good?
Good.
Welcome to the stage, Sonia.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yo, it's been a minute, Sonia. Like, you haven't been on the new YouTube version of After Dark, have you?
No, I have not. This is my first time.
All right. Well, welcome. Well,
welcome.
We cleaned it up. We're still grown. It's still After
Oh
Dark.
no, I like the raunchiness.
No.
Don't clean it up too much now. Okay, we got to keep it spicy still.
We don't keep it
Sonia,
spicy.
until I say the word, but I am not saying the word tonight because it ain't about that.
Oh Lord! You know what? You know what? You just spoke up a friend of ours. Are you ready? Are you ready, veteran? Look at him. He said he's ready to go. And then we're gonna bring Landon back. This is my homeboy, another brother from another mother. He was one of my groomsmen in the wedding. He is an After Dark vet. At this point, he always got something to say. Come on to the stage, my man, Sherrod.
I'm a vet now.
Oh no!
It's about to get crazy.
I feel
tonight.
so honored.
Oh no! We got a pigeon in the house.
Oh,
We got a pigeon in the house.
All right,
words
now,
cannot
Oh.
express how honored I feel because I'm a vet. Like
you
the
are a vet.
Eagles that used to play at the vet. Eagles used to play at the vet.
We got a pigeon
Just make sure
in the
y'all don't
house.
choke again.
Did I tell y'all you from Philly? Did I tell y'all you from Philly?
Damn.
We got a pigeon in the house.
It's
Dude.
crazy.
No, y'all listen. Y'all talk a lot of smack. Close the deal.
Well, hold on. Before we start discussion, let me bring Landon to the stage. Landon, come on to the stage, bro. Come on back to the stage. There he is.
What's going on, everybody? I know I'm the lone soldier. I'm not a Cowboys fan, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to the Kansas City, aka the Dallas Texans, the only team in Dallas that are actually winning championships these days.
Hey, Landon, you and the Philly dude, Sherrod, y'all got something in common. Y'all both got one.
Hey, but we've been there more than you guys have recently. We've been there more than you guys have been recently.
Hey, don't despise small beginnings, because my Chicago Bears got one, but we're the greatest defense of all time.
And the Bears have been to a Super Bowl since the Cowboys last one. That's the crazy part.
Hey, listen, hey, S.
And y'all still ain't caught us?
I ain't starting.
And y'all still ain't caught us?
You guys
Y'all
have been
bragging about
What
appearances.
have y'all been doing all this time? Y'all still ain't caught us?
Wait a minute. Wait. Say. Who's your team? You're the Rams, right?
I'm a Cowboy fan. I'm a Cowboy fan.
Well, I'm down here with this heat. I'm down here with this
Listen,
heat.
I keep trying to tell y'all this. That's why I love. Look at Al. Al ain't said shit. Al got a brand new shirt on. Al just bought the shit with TJ Maxx.
Let's go. Wait. Look at Al.
Look at Al. Al, let me see your shirt. That shit
Go ahead.
new.
Yeah, there you go.
TJ Maxx special, $5.99.
TJ Maxx.
Oh wow!
It was on it was on the clearance rack.
Hey, TJ Maxx down the street from the bowling alley, my guy.
From the bowling alley. In Gardena.
Hey, but I tell you what, it's in Nordstrom's today.
Hey, look, y'all. Thank you everybody for joining After Dark, man. Tonight we're going to be discussing Kobe. We're reflecting on the life and legacy of Kobe. I was thinking about what the show was going to be tonight. Every week, we got to figure out what the topic's going to be, try to stay relevant. We let go of Trump. We let go of relationships. We let go of politics. And we talk about Kobe being Bryant tonight. So shout out to Kobe. We love Kobe. I think what I should do is go around the room. And I may have a clip. I was looking for a clip. Do I have a clip of Kobe, y'all? If I have a clip, I can play it. But I think maybe I should just start with going around the room and giving everybody 3 minutes to tell us what Kobe means to you. Now, mind you, you can talk about his legacy. You can talk about his life. You can talk about him as a girl father. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have to say this to anybody on the panel. We're celebrating his life. So we don't care about none of the BS that people may try to bring up. That ain't what this is. This is Kobe love, Kobe flowers, and celebrating Kobe being Bryant. So I think I'll start with my man Champ. Champ, since you're the one that actually brought up the topic tonight, why don't you give us 3 minutes? As I'm gonna mute everyone, give us 3 minutes on what does Kobe Bryant mean to you, his legacy and his life?
Well, first of all, when you think about Kobe Bryant, for me, I go back to high school, my sophomore year in high school, and we had just witnessed Kevin Garnett, going straight to the NBA because of the test scores and so forth like that. I think he eventually ended up passing the test, and KG was a top 5 pick. But at that time, a guard was not really considered, an attractive place to go to the NBA straight out of high school. When KG made the leap, it's like the NBA was supporting that. So, we all back home in Michigan and watching television, watching the McDonald's All American game. I knew guys that was on the team in that '96 team and so forth like that, and the Round Ball Classic. And the interesting piece was Kobe Bryant had a press conference. And, now we in high school. He 2 years older than us. And he was like, I'm taking my talents to the NBA. Like he was the first person to say that I'm taking my
Yep,
talents somewhere.
I remember
So,
that.
but the crazy part was he was 17 years old. So, ironically, when we were in high school, 96 was Allen Iverson, NCAA tournament. He had the big play against UMass in the Elite Eight game. He played for Georgetown, going against Ray Allen and UConn and so forth like that. AI was the #1 pick. Kobe was the 13th pick. But what ended up happening is the dunk contest happened, and then the mannerism, like Michael Jordan, everybody wanted to be MJ back then, right? And I remember this. Larry Foote, he's gonna be an NFL head coach one day. We was in high school together in Michigan. He's a coach over at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, played for the Pittsburgh Steelers for a long period of time. We was like, Kobe got a chance to be something special when he became starting guard in the All-Star game his sophomore year, I mean his second season in the league. But he came off the bench. The Lakers had 4 All-Stars. It was Shaq, Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, and Kobe Bryant. But Kobe Bryant was the starter over these 2 elite guards. And it was in Madison Square Garden. It was Michael Jordan's last year of him playing with the Chicago Bulls. And it was a big thing. It was like passing the torch when we was watching it. So what's so crazy is Kobe Bryant and our age bracket and all of us didn't want to see him be better than Mike.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, like the first three-peat, when he was going against Sacramento in the conference finals, a lot of us wanted Sacramento to
To
win
win.
just
Yeah,
so he wouldn't
yeah,
three-peat like MJ. And that's
yeah,
when
yeah.
even in the media created this narrative of you got to have the Finals MVP in order to be considered better than Michael Jordan. And they created these benchmarks. So when I think about Kobe early on, I don't think we really appreciated this 17-year-old kid living overseas, then going to suburban Philadelphia and playing high school basketball, starting at 13 years old, playing varsity basketball, graduating at 17, and ultimately going into the NBA to Los Angeles, California. And what he did in an early at a very young age, he set a benchmark to what the NBA looked today. Like he was like the guy who set the stage. It's not a knock to KG because I love Kevin Garnett. I think he's one of the greatest players of all time, arguably the greatest power forward of all time. But with Kobe set the stage that you had to zoom in on an elite guard in high school and
Mhm.
consider him a guy that you want to look at as a lottery pick, for the NBA. Because if they did a draft over, Kobe Bryant probably would have been the #1 pick if everybody could redo it in the '96 draft. And Kobe
Mhm.
Bryant would have been at Philly in his hometown, similar to LeBron James in Cleveland coming from Akron, Ohio. And that could be an entire different narrative. His support system and how he's viewed and how his career, is looked upon would be totally different. So for
Yeah.
me, that's just the beginning of the stage. And I rest at
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
other people want to say something.
No doubt. All right, we're gonna go around the room. Let me see. Let me go with Yvette next. Yvette, what did Kobe Bryant mean to you? His life and his legacy. Got to come off of mute from Yvette.
Yeah, I guess my joy from Kobe was I enjoyed my mother. My mother is just a sports fanatic. She watches all sports, but those Lakers be playing, and she'll be screaming at the TV as if she was the coach, telling Kobe what moves to make. And so that was my memory. But I also remember what Champ was talking about as well. I remember him being the youngest, and I remember that being a big news frenzy at that time. And that's back when I actually used to work with the NBA back in that time as well in TV production. So yeah, like you said, Michael Jordan was on his way out, and I worked, so yeah, so it was just basically just watching his growth. I admired what he has done for the game. I was heartbroken, when I heard about his death, and but I also did love, the love that he had with him and his daughters, and coaching them and things like that. So he just brought so much joy and love, and
Yeah.
that's my thought on Kobe.
Okay. All right. Let me go to AJ. AJ, I see you in the corner. AJ, welcome to the stage. Welcome to After Dark, man.
What
Tell
up,
me
though?
what Kobe meant to you, his life and his legacy.
Um, well, I'm kind of obsessed with like studying geniuses and like how their mind works. I think Kobe was extremely talented, and he was like, to me, it's like he speak like 6 different languages, and like he learned the Mozart thing just to play for Vanessa, like by ear. Like the dude would learn albums before everybody else learned them. If you like watch anything on like the interviews when they talk about Kobe and stuff, he would sit and try to like know Jay-Z album and all that. And even though he was incredibly special, like a super talent, he gave everybody the blueprint on how to be great. The Mamba mentality, it doesn't just expand to basketball. It's every sport, every job, anything you want to do in life. If you put the work in and you pay attention to the details and you pay attention to the things that matter, everything else comes easy. And it just flows. Like the story about when he worked Giannis out, and Giannis said they shot the same shot for 2 hours. And I've trained kids. And I know parents will look at me like, what are you doing? And I'm like, you don't teach a kid a million dribbles for no reason when you could just teach them a one dribble pull up and have them do it for 2 hours till it becomes natural. Like every single day, you do the same thing until it becomes natural. I remember him talking about when he got Gigi, when he retired, and he was like, first thing I did is work on her footwork for a year. Like, and when you start hearing these things and you see the detail show and you see the cartoons and stuff he was doing and how he really broke the game down. One thing I love about Kobe, I think, and I don't want to take shots at LeBron, but I think when you are the face of the league, you have to carry the torch like a man. And I'm not saying he didn't. What I'm saying is you have to carry the torch. And what that means is you go to the past. You go to Larry Bird, you go to Magic, you go to Bill Russell, you go to Jordan, you go to all them, and you learn and respect the game first. And that's what he did. He respected all of them. I think he made one of those videos one time, and he talked about the Euro step came from Elgin Baylor. I didn't know that. And I was like, wow, like somebody who goes to these depths to like just be great is such an inspiration. And I like watching people like him or Kanye, or even LeBron. I think LeBron does work hard, and I give him that. So I love that. One of my favorite moments with Kobe, I was at Houston All-Star Weekend, and I'm a big Kobe fan, and he shut LeBron down 3 times. And it was so many LeBron fans because I went down there for this LeBron versus Kobe game. So they did this huge marketing thing about like street ball players could play on Team LeBron or Team Kobe. And one of my teammates made Team Kobe. So me and him went down there, and we in the suite. And when he was shutting LeBron down, I was in there talking cash shit. It was the funnest thing in the world for me. Um, and outside of that, the last game, it's still the great. I still get emotional watching that game now. I remember going over to my father's house. My parents, they still married. I don't know why I say that because he was with me, but I remember going over there and he was acting like he was about to watch the Warriors, like break the record. And I'm like, look, Dad, if you watching the Warriors, I'm leaving. I'm not about to watch this game. Like it doesn't even make sense. So me and him watched that game together, and I will
Mm.
never in my life forget that game. Like it's like the great. Like, do you understand? Kobe has the greatest story in basketball history, right? If you tell the story the right way, it is the greatest story. And who did he shoot 3 air balls against? It was Utah, right? Who did
Hmm.
he score 60 at the end of his game? His career started. I mean, his career started with those 3 air balls. And what most people would have did, they would have felt bad. Nick Anderson never recovered from missing free throws.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to be mentally stronger than everyone. He said the next day I was in the gym and he had to figure out what the problem was, and I wasn't in shape. And he's like, I got to work harder. So if you look at that, and then he ends the whole Utah Jazz season, you score 60 on him, and then the greatest thing ever, he was known as a ball hog, and he went away with assist. His last play was an assist to Jordan Clarkson. He hit the
Mm.
game winner, and his last play was an assist. Like
Yeah.
the dude, it's just a great inspirational story. I love the hero's journey. I love writing about things like that. So for me, Kobe, he's like the epitome with like I
Okay.
would want to teach a man to be. Like watch
That's
Kobe
what's
Bryant.
up. That's what's up. That's what's up. AJ, I appreciate that. We're gonna go to the next person. Let me go to Landon. Landon, tell us what Kobe Bryant means to you, his life and his legacy. Hold on. There you go.
I think
Uh oh.
life
Wi-Fi
means
issue.
everything, not just.
Landon, can you start over for me? The Wi-Fi is tripping. Yeah, Wi-Fi does that sometimes. Okay. All right, let me move on. We're gonna come back to Landon. It's a Wi-Fi issue. Let me go to Al Tariq. Al, life and legacy of Kobe Bryant, man. What does it mean to you?
Um, the will and the want, man. You know, I'm a ball player myself, and the mentality. You know, it's the Mamba mentality now, but the mentality before it was named. His brother, there's nothing you can't tell him he can't do, and he was up for the challenge. I mean, and I mean, yo, we all could go on and on about Kobe, but the mentality to take on any challenge when someone tell you you can't do something that you know that is your 100% personal craft and nobody is better than, it says it all. You know, uh being compared to Jordan wasn't enough. You know, he is the greatest. He's number one, and he had that mentality, and he went out to prove it day in and day out. Um, you know, I mean, man, this guy was awesome, and to the poise that he has to fail and succeed, and I mean, come on, man, it's Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
You know, we all could go on and on, but for me, man, he meant the world to me from a stand on the basketball court from a standpoint of relentless. No matter what anybody said about him, good, bad, or indifferent, he was out to prove a point that he is the best at what he do. And yo, man, love that kid, man.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I'll get to my 2 minutes later. Um, but as a Jordan fan, I grew to respect Kobe tremendously. You know, when he first came out, I might have been a little bit jaded, going saying, "Oh, he trying to be like Mike. He trying to be like Mike." But man, I came to realize that's actually an admirable trait. You know, he saw and even surpassed Mike in many different areas. And this is a Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls fan saying that. I fully respect Kobe. Kobe has all of my respect. Let's go with Sonia. Sonia, I know that you are involved with things within the NBA, so you probably see things closer than we do. I don't know if I was supposed to say that on camera or not, but I'm saying
Oh
it.
yeah, for sure. I was gonna say that for me, I've always grown up around sports. I always played sports because I always kind of struggle with my weight. I was always a mediocre athlete at a lot of sports instead of just being really great at one. So, growing up in like a small, rural, conservative town, a lot of people, even if you did not follow sports or basketball per se, everybody knew who Kobe was. Everybody, whether you followed sports or athletes or basketball, everybody knew who he was and his impact, right? So, what I want to share is, I've been working for the NBA now for about 8 years. It's a wonderful opportunity. I've seen a lot. It's never a dull moment. But just going back to growing up and witnessing Kobe play and his impact on the court, which a lot of you all have already spoken about. I want to add in about his impact off the court and about how much of a balanced human being he was at his core, right? So, one of my favorite things about Kobe is how he not only balanced basketball, but he balanced basketball, his health, his family, his artistic endeavors, and also his social life as well. Like, I remember there were times where he would be on one of the UPN sitcoms like Moesha. Like, he would make cameos on some of the Black, lesser known sitcoms to kind of bring more popularity to the shows, right? I also remember there was a time where he put out a song with, of all people, Tyra Banks. They did a song together. Like, a lot of people, they don't remember those things. And he also was in the Destiny's Child video, Bugaboo. And I remember when the video first dropped, and I was like on my couch watching the video with my dad, and he was like, I don't know about this Bugaboo song. I don't know. What does that mean? And me just laughing, and then, boom, out of nowhere, here comes Kobe in the video. And so I really liked how he would always reach out to the Black community. He would also, how can I say it, he would kind of shine a light on other people's gifts as well. So it wasn't all about him being the star of the show, so to speak. He would always kind of lend a hand to, like, an artist that was a lesser known artist and collaborate with that person, right, to bring awareness. So that was one of my favorite things to remember about Kobe, is that, sometimes people did not follow sports, but they always knew who Kobe was. They always knew what he was doing. They always saw him on TV. He always made it a point to help out his community in whatever ways that he could see that he could do. So I would say that would be one of my favorite memories about Kobe, is that I always saw him as a person that was well-rounded. He just wasn't a basketball player. He did a lot of things in the community, and he helped a lot of people out.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that. Thank you for that. We didn't get to Sherrod. Sherrod, Kobe Bryant, man, speak on his life and legacy and the impact he had on you. Oh, you got to come off mute for me, Sherrod.
Couple of stories about Kobe. My brother was in high school, because Kobe and I graduated the same year high school. So my brother was in high school in Philly, and he's like, look, there's a cat that is over there in the suburbs, bro. He killing it. His name Kobe Bryant. I think he's going to the NBA. I said, he's not going to the NBA. Okay, so stop all that bullshit. So my brother said, no. I'm all city, but he NBA ready right now. So, we in Philly for the summer. We got a chance to pick up games, so we got a chance to see him, because he came to a shoot around. And he was a skinny cat, he could play. So didn't think nothing of it. Boom, fast forward. Kobe becomes this guy, right? So we followed him and everything. And I admired him because, he was a relentless guy. He knew exactly what he wanted. He got drafted to Charlotte. He was like, I ain't playing for no damn Charlotte. Who the hell are the Hornets? I'm not going there. I'm not going to do that. So then he's like, I'm playing for the Lakers. And I think he always knew early on his greatness and his potential and what he was ready for, more than anybody else, which I think is just profound in itself, right? I think that's God's sin, to know what you're calling and where you need to be at that age. I didn't have that at 17. I was fortunate enough to live by some coaching staff members of the Lakers when he came back from his injury, and I was downstairs by the locker room, and he was walking by because he's going to the locker room. He said, hey, what's up? You back again? As if to say, you ain't even supposed to be in the locker room, but obviously you know the coach, so you're good. And I was just like, it's amazing how observant he was. You wouldn't think that he would. you know, and I felt like a groupie. I was like, oh, you know who I am? What's up, Coach? You know, and that was that. And I felt so honored that he just, you know, palmed me out like, hey, what's up, my nigga? You here again, huh? All right, good to see you. All right, stay out here because you can't come in the locker room. So it was one of those things. And then I remember the day that he passed, and I was at Disneyland with my family, and I can remember it like yesterday. So the wife comes over to me. She says, hey, you know, Kobe Bryant just died. I just got TMZ. She's a TMZ whore. She's like, TMZ, just TMZ. And I was like, hey, look, I can't help that right now, but the way these max passes and this annual passes work right here, we got to get on 9 rides in the next 3 hours to maximize all our money. Can't help Kobe right now.
Mm.
The more and more we start getting on rides, Disneyland stopped.
Mm-hmm.
The energy went down. Everybody in Disneyland felt some type way. I didn't care if you was black, white, Puerto Rican, or Haitian. Everybody felt bad. And this is, I ain't gonna lie, guys. This is when I knew Kobe was so impactful. It was a dick in hand moment when they stopped and did a moment of silence at Disneyland. I was like, wow. At Disneyland, they stopped. Hey, we want to give a moment of silence. Kobe just did this. And it was so impactful, and he brought so many people together. And I won't give it away, but it's someone that I text that is personally close to him. And I made sure that individual was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I texted him, and I said, hey, man, you good? And this person responded, I'm good, bro. Just trying to do it. I'll leave it like that. But instrumental, very profound, very positive, and very astute of his surroundings. And he knew thyself, which is so important, man. It's so important. That's my piece.
Yeah, so much we could say. So much we could say about Kobe. Come on back to the stage, my man Landon. Tell us about Kobe Bryant and what he meant to you, his life and his legacy.
Everything. Obviously giving you the motivation to keep going regardless of when, you know, certain things aren't going, you know, properly. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to see him live. I missed him by a couple of years. Being an NBA reporter now, I've been able to see Dirk retire. I've, you know, been able to catch LeBron live, etc. But Kobe's the one that I wish I would have been able to run into. From just hearing from everybody, you know, you guys' stories, and then also, you know, people around the league that I've talked to. Clay just shared a you know, a moment with us last night in the Mavericks post game last night after they beat the Wizards. But yeah, he's meant a bunch to not just me but to everybody. As far as the you know, the news was happening. Obviously, I saw the news on TMZ, but of course, you know, they've been known to get some things wrong, not everything, but they've been known to get things wrong. And then when it came across the Pro Bowl screen, and they, you know, basically said Kobe passed away, that's when it started to become real. And it was just one of those things. I'm gonna keep it short, but yeah, he's been very instrumental in you know, uplifting me throughout my journalistic career, because obviously this part of the industry is not it's not easy, especially if you don't have like the big name behind you. But yeah, he's been very instrumental in, you know, helping me keep going to, you know, push towards certain things as a current independent journalist. Oh man,
that's amazing, man. And it's a blessing that you're able to get close to the game, you know, and get to know people. That brings me to my brother. Man, I know, you know, what he meant to this young man. And like you said, Sherrod, I'm going to go ahead and say it. S was the first man I called. I mean, I was in shock. Somebody sent it to me via, you know, online and was like, Dave, have you heard? And I was like, what? I was so discombobulated. And the first person I called was Estevan, because I knew he had a personal relationship with him. So S, It's you, my man. Tell us about the life and legacy of Kobe Bryant, what he meant to you, and just you got the floor, bro. I know you knew him.
Yeah, it's a lot to unpack. I'm gonna do it. I would say like, uh, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like you see players. Well, in basketball, you see everybody's in awe with the oohs and the ahs. But what he showed you was the how. How did I get to that? How did I get to those points in the game? How did I get to the basket? How was I able? And it shows through his work ethic. And he was someone. His impact on the game of basketball to me is his work ethic. You saw how somebody mentioned that he shot 3 air balls and everybody was laughing. I'm pretty sure everybody had a laugh at that. And he was one that figured out that, and he like, hey, you know why I shot them 3 air balls? Man, my legs weren't strong enough. So okay, he figured out what I needed to do. So he wouldn't work on his legs. So now, when he got to that point in the game, he wouldn't be tired. After a long season, you go in high school where you playing 30 games, so now you playing 82 games plus the playoffs, and now you got to travel this, that, and the third, and you don't take care of your body as well as you should. So those things that's where rookies hit the wall. So he was teaching them, okay, this is how we not hit a wall. This is how we not do this. And every year he got better. And then the mama mentality kicked in where he just like, okay, I'm just going to get it done. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to get it done on both ends. And you saw that in basketball. And then, as you say, the day his last game, I went to go see him, and it took him about, I want to say it took him about a minute and a half to get from the couch to the chair. And I was like, and I heard his knees crack. And I was like,
Wow.
bro, you playing tonight? And he was like, I don't know. That was at 9. That was at 9 in the morning on that Wednesday or Tuesday, whatever day. Tuesday. It was Tuesday, I believe. It was at 9 in the morning. Uh, he was like, man, I don't know. People were calling me, asking because they trying to buy tickets and this and that. They want to buy tickets and he's not gonna play. And I was like, bro, I don't know what he gonna do. I don't know. And he gets out there and he starts to stink it up, and then he turns it around. And it reminds me of something he said to a kid. The kid said, what happens if you miss 10 in a row? And he said, I'm due. He believes so much in his game, and those who play basketball understands what that means. The next one's going in. I'm due to make something. I didn't made 1,000 shots from this spot, and now because another one comes up, I'm not gonna shoot it. So he's like, I'm due. And that game was what that was. He started out like crap, and then he said, man, let me turn this around before everybody laugh at me, on this last game, and he turned it around in true fashion. He still, even after he was probably like 1 for 10, he still believed in himself. He probably was like at 2 for 14 and still was like, I got this. Where you got other people that are pros, greats, they would have tucked their tail, put the gun in the holster and quit. Now, that just wasn't him. He didn't have a quitter's mentality. He had a winner's mentality. And that's basketball part. The part that, and I knew how great he was. What stuck out to me was the first time I cut his hair at his house.
Okay.
He had his daughter, Natalia sat in his lap, and she had a computer. He's messing with her computer. Gigi sat in the foot part of the barber chair, and she had a computer. He is messing with one on his lap and the other one at his feet. And he looks at me and says, "Hey, can you cut me?" I was like, "Man, you've been on the road. I ain't finna mess with you and your kids. I got a son, so I know how it is about that bond between your kids. And I'd do anything. I'd be doing the same thing if I had it like that." And I was like, I'll figure it out. So I cut him, and I'm sitting there like watching him interact with his kids. And that was the part that made me respect him more, is what I saw with him and his kids. And I remember talking to him about basketball and trying to get AAU team, and he was like, "I don't believe in the AAU system because of how they showcase boys basketball, and they just it's a money grab and this and that." I was like, "So, but you came for it." He said, "Yeah, and I know how they showcase them, and that's another story. I go into another day." But he's like, "I'm gonna give the girls everything the boys got," and I was like, "Whoa." I was like, so as he got into it and got into it more and more, and I was like, "Hey, you should put together a boys team." He said, "Nah, boys got enough. I'm gonna get the girls with. I'm gonna give the girls all the attention. And he was all involved in those girls. When he told the team, he said, "If I don't get y'all a Division I scholarship, I have failed you." That's what he told the parents.
Wow.
I was like, damn. And I'm just thinking that one day you go out there, I go out to cut him and say, yeah, I'm finna be in Thousand Oaks for a 5-day, 2-a-day camp with the girls. I'm like, 2 days with the girls? Bruh, they 11 years old. What are you
Right.
doing? So then I turn around and one of my clients give me a video of the girls playing basketball. And they are hooping. I'm like, hey, I hadn't really seen them play. And I'm like, that's how they get down. And I sent him the video when I saw him, and he pulled out his phone, and then he pulls up a video of them 2 years prior. They were
Mm.
so they were 12 at this time. They started at 10, and he was like, he showed me the video, and you know what 10-year-olds look like playing basketball?
Yeah.
They kicking the ball everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! I was like, those are the same girls, man. The video I sent him, man, it looked like a well-oiled machine. They running a triangle. They got the high post, the pitch post. They got cuts and split cuts. I'm like, y'all running split actions. I'm looking at the video for them 2 years ago, and they was like, oh, this is not even possible. One girl he had on the team, she goes to the basket and shoots a left-hand layup, and I'm like, damn. Then she's on the baseline. She drills the ball right-handed, and she's on the right hand side. She drills the ball right-handed and comes up with a left-hand layup. I'm like, damn. I'm like, she's left-handed. Okay. Goes down on the other end and pulls up a right-handed three. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm thinking this girl's left-handed the way she handled the ball. He said, man, when I got her, she couldn't scratch her ass with her left hand.
Wow.
And he said, what I would tell them to do is start doing everything with your left hand. Eat with your left hand. Brush your teeth with your left hand. I'm like, whoa, like what he was. So you hear how he talks about
At age 12, at age 12.
yes.
Wow.
He had Pilates coming out there working with him. He had other pros coming out there working with him. Once they got their game and up and the skill set up, and how somebody said he would go through one move with them a day. Like they was just really focusing on what they were doing, honed in on what they were doing. And he was like, well, if they practice, they do 2-a-days. And he's talking about himself. He said, if I do a 2-a-day, 3 days, after a year, I pass a bunch of people. After 4 years, I pass a lot of people.
Absolutely.
After 5 years, there's no way these people can catch me. And that's what he had those kids on.
Wow.
He had those at age of 10. That's what he had them on. And then you hear, and like I said, one of the things he said, I know I'm over my 3. I'm sorry, bro.
No, you're good.
He was like, if me playing basketball is the greatest thing I've done, then I've done nothing. And to see how all these people are, girls basketball, people weren't, really into girls basketball. The popularity of basketball wasn't riding as high. And he jumped into that and he championed that. He championed that move, that move for women's basketball, to the point where he told this one girl up in Washington, I'm gonna come see you play. Now it's an area in Washington that never gets celebrities. Not ever. And this girl could hoop. He had her down here for a little camp. And he said, I'm gonna come see you play. He got on the jet, went out there and saw her play. Her and Gigi walked in. I saw it on Instagram. And the next day I was having to go out there and cut him. He was back home in time. He flew out there for that game and flew right back. Like he really used the jet as an Uber. That was hilarious to me. But that's how he moved, and he was involved in girls basketball. He was, in UConn's basketball. He would go see them play. He was just into girls basketball. And then, like I said, the biggest part of his legacy that he left to me was everybody hollering "girl dad."
Mm-hmm.
That became a thing. It's like I seen men proud to be going to their girls' basketball games. I would go to the games and I would see, I was like, I'm starting to see so many men at their daughters' games. And I was like, damn, you don't even see that many men at the boys' games sometimes, but they are present at their girls' games. And I was like, wow, like he really created a buzz behind it, and it went. So to me, all of and I used to tell people all of the hooping that's cool, but him as a father, that's why I respected him as a man. What I saw with my own eyes, and then I've been around a lot of basketball players, and this generation of basketball players are really great with their kids. But prior generations, man, they don't even know their kids. They paycheck dads. And I
Yeah.
know, I know some of you all deal with some NBA players and NFL players. They paycheck dads. They got 8 kids and they don't even know them. They just send a check that way. This
Yeah.
dude, I know we got a lot to get to.
You're
This dude,
good.
one time we was on a set of Nike, and I'm glad he didn't show, but because I had to get my stuff settled with them. But he was supposed to be out in Newport, and he at the hotel at like I want to call it. Let's call it 10 o'clock, and it's 12 now, and he still ain't showed up. Nobody's heard from him. It's going on 2. I didn't have my meeting with Nike, so now I'm straight, and I'm sitting there. We all rocking our feet and wondering what's going on, and they're like, "Hey, man, we're gonna have to close it up." And I was like, "Damn, what happened?" Like damn, they had a whole production for him to do,
Yeah.
and the dude said, I seen him. I went to go cut his hair the next day, and I said, "Hey man, what happened to you yesterday? I just at the set." He said, "Man, they didn't let me know in time. I had to pick up my daughters."
Mm.
I was like, "You ain't got no nanny?" And I ain't got no nanny for that shit. I don't need no nanny.
Mm-mm.
So I,
Girl,
so I got
get
to.
it.
I was like, "Damn." I was like, "Wow, like you okay? Let me watch you." This is early. This, like I said, this is very early, and me and getting to know this man. And when I started to see that more and more, it wasn't a game. It wasn't some fluff. It wasn't him trying to show me, yeah, I'm around my kids. It was real, man. Like we would
I
be on.
want to jump in right quick. Sorry, I want to jump in. And the
No
reason I want
problem.
to jump in is because this is a perfect segue for the girl dad. Um, you know, Kobe went through a lot in his life. Um, and what I respected most about him is his love for Vanessa, and like I said, not to go too deep into some of the negative things, but the stuff he was accused of, when everything was settled out of court and it got behind him, I looked and I said, "Yo, Kobe is a new man," and it really just showed how much he loved and cared about Vanessa. And like you said, when you start seeing how he was with Gigi and his girls, I was really just like, "Yo, this dude um, is the real deal." He really
Mhm.
didn't let a setback set him back. He really
And-
said, "I'm going to be better,"
yeah,
and did it
yeah,
and
yeah.
did it.
He was that way with all his children, man. Like with Natalia, he was very very much involved with her and going to school, and I believe it was film. I think she wanted to do something about film production. That's what Granny Studios was about. But that was going to be her playground.
Yeah,
The Mamacitas was obviously Gigi. The Granny Studios, that was going to be Natalia's playground. Then he had the other ones, and they were just popping up on him. I was like, man, he was about to go get another tattoo. He was about to get tattoos to put the other 2 girls on his arm. Or
yeah.
yes,
Hey,
so
check this
it
out.
was just
Check this out. I want y'all to look at this real quick because this is from I think I got the right clip. This is my favorite player talking about Kobe's relationship with him and how he loved how he was a girl dad.
No matter where he saw me, it was a challenge. And I admired him because his passion, you rarely see someone who's looking and trying to improve each and every day, not just in sports, but as a parent, as a husband. I am inspired by what he's done and what he shared with Vanessa and what he's shared with his kids. I have a daughter who is 30 who just became a grandparent. And I have 2 twins. I have twins at 6. I can't wait to get home to become a girl dad. and to hug them and to see the love and the smiles that they bring to us as parents. He taught me that just by looking at this tonight, looking at how he responded and reacted with the people that he actually loved. These are the things that we will continue to learn from Kobe Bryant. To Vanessa, Natalia, Bianca.
All right, I think we can stop there because that was really what I was getting at. Jordan said basically, you got one of the best players to touch the ball, the game, who really is a prideful player, who humbled himself and said, "I learned a lot from my little brother, and he taught me how to cherish my family and I can't wait to be a girl dad." That says a lot. That says a whole lot, and I can say that Kobe Bryant had that effect on a lot of us, outside of, like everyone just said tonight, the basketball, the Mamba, the work every day. If you work harder, I mean, Kobe is absolutely amazing. But I think his love for his wife and kids, his family, even when people said, "Oh, Vanessa ain't good for you," no, man, he fell in love with Vanessa and he locked her down, and you know what I mean? He proclaimed his love for Vanessa from when he was very young, even when everybody else was against it for whatever reason. I love that he went for it and he stuck it out. All right, so now we're to the part now, y'all. It's an open conversation. This is the topic. Where does Kobe Bryant sit on the pantheon of greats? Where is he when it comes to being the GOAT? You know what? Let's start with Champ. It's open, but we're gonna start with Champ.
I just want to say good night. I'm trying to wave and say good night, but I wanted to say good night.
You gotta go. Okay.
Yes, it's that time. It's that waking moment. But I want to say, Esteban, thank you so much for sharing. Your words were wonderful and heartfelt. And AJ, I enjoyed your story, and I just enjoyed listening to what everybody had to say, and it's got my mind going. I'm going to go to bed with some good thoughts now.
Yvette,
and I just appreciate you all.
Who's your GOAT in basketball? Who's the greatest of all time?
Wow.
Your GOAT, Yvette.
My God, I know. Wow.
Let me give you a choice: Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, Magic, or someone else.
Shoot. Kobe is on. I got a top 3. Is one. Of course, Jordan is another. And since I'm down here in Florida, it's between Wade and Alonzo Mourning.
Okay, all right. Hey, I ain't mad at that.
I respect that.
I ain't mad at that.
You know what? I didn't think about you.
If I had to put you on the spot, who's at the top of that list?
And I do like Doc Rivers too, only because I worked with him.
Oh wow!
So I like my man. I like my Celtics. I'm a Celtics fan as well. So don't kill me.
Good night. Good night.
Doc Rivers. You don't get your goofy ass out of here. I'm talking about Doc Rivers. I like Doc Rivers.
Go get you some melatonin. Get some melatonin.
Hey, young Doc got a nice podcast though. Austin Rivers got a nice podcast.
Yeah, I saw that. Right? I saw them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Young fella know
Yvette,
basketball.
Good night before I get beat
Thank you,
up.
lady.
I said some beautiful things. Y'all beat me down. I'm gonna have
No, you said you're a Celtic fan though. You know how it is. Respect for the Celtics though, no doubt about it.
All right, Yvette.
Good night.
I used to work with him. I used to work with him. Wow. Okay, Yvette.
All right. Does anyone else have to go soon? If not, because y'all can talk, y'all can go first. But
nigga, it's 11 o'clock. I gotta go.
I understand that. I understand. Okay. Well, shit. Who your GOAT then? Eagles fan. Who you got?
I'm going with fucking Doc Rivers, nigga. I'm going with Doc. All the Hawks in the 80s, nigga. Donald
Hey, I think that's some glasses you got on. You ain't see nothing.
Rollins.
Did he say?
That's
Did he
some
say Tree
glasses.
Rollins?
Kevin Wilkins.
Rollins.
Kevin
Street
Wilkins.
Rollins.
Kevin
Hey, that's some
Willis.
glasses he got
Kevin
on.
Willis.
He didn't see. He didn't see nobody.
He said Tree Rollins. I forgot you was on that squad.
Hey, you said Atlanta. I lived in Atlanta. You know, late
Atlanta had a
80s, early
squad.
90s. Hey, Dominique was something else, man.
Look, my son got his jersey signed the other night. He's like, I don't even know who that is. I was like, Nick, what do you mean? That's Nick.
Yeah.
The Frenchman. GOAT of all time, man. There's so many criteria to this shit, man. It's hard.
It ain't.
Yeah.
No, how about
It
this? How
ain't.
about this? What's your criteria? Once you name your 5, don't tell us what the media think. What's yours?
Yeah. So I think you can't become a GOAT unless you win chips, bro.
All right.
You gotta win chips. You gotta win chips, and I mean you gotta win a shitload of them, man. Because that's the benchmark, right? The benchmark is winning chips.
It's about winning.
I gotta go with Mike. I gotta go with Kobe at second, and then I gotta go with Magic, my top
Right.
three.
That's your top
Now, in the event that LeBron plays another 10 fucking years, this Negro will not slow down, sir, at all. If he plays another 5 years and surpasses them, like if he gets one more chip,
It ain't gonna matter. Okay, go ahead.
How many Brian got? Brian got 4? Brian got 4?
Ron got 4.
But how many Brian lost? He lost like 17?
6.
Nobody gives a shit how many you lost. They care
He
about how many you won.
He lost.
It
He lost.
matters.
I do.
He
It
lost
matters.
Jordans.
I
He
do.
lost the Jordan number.
It
It
matters.
don't matter.
It matters.
Yes, the hell it does. Yes, the hell it
So
does.
you're saying
who's saying? Well, you're a Philly fan, so I get it. But who's saying that the Buffalo Bills are the greatest team ever?
no one.
They lost.
No one's saying that though.
Wait. Exactly. They was in the Super Bowl. Was it 3 or 4 years in a row?
Oh yeah.
3 in a row.
Four.
3 in a row.
Yeah.
Nobody is saying they're the greatest
They
team in the
won
world
4
ever.
They lost 4 in a row.
4 in a row.
Nobody is saying they are the greatest team ever.
No, because your losses
Because
don't
what?
count.
Because no, exactly. They count.
They're the
Right.
greatest runner-ups of all time.
When you, hey, but
Lord
see,
have
here's the
mercy.
thing,
Nobody's saying Jim
Jesus.
Kelly is the greatest quarterback ever. He went to 4 straight Super Bowls.
That is correct.
The greatest
Hey,
runner-up
listen.
of all
Hey,
time.
the reason why they're not saying it is because they lost.
All 4.
Yeah.
Landon,
So
Landon,
here's
can
the
you
thing,
hold
though.
on?
When
I
you
need
start, when you,
Landon. I
How
need
you
Landon
lose
to
4,
say that.
though?
Please
How you
repeat
lose
what you
4?
said, Landon.
The Buffalo Bills are the greatest runner-ups of all time
Damn
in
it.
Yeah.
NFL history.
Yeah, I give you that.
Yeah. And nobody gives a damn about the runner-up.
No.
So the thing about it is when we start talking about when we this is why we love sports. We love sports
Correct.
because we talk about winners.
Correct.
And what separate greatness is wins and losses. Obviously, it's a team sport when you talk about legacy and so forth like that. But if you living in real time, so if you living in the 60s of the 50 plus 20 plus rebounds season, 48 and a half minutes, and how he dominated, scored 100 points in the game, you can tell the story about Wilt Chamberlain. But 40, 50 years later, if you didn't live it, you forget about the conversation of him because of the championships that Bill Russell won, 11 and 13 seasons. And
Right.
you look at Elgin Baylor and the dominance that he played when you look at the sheet of paper. So winning does matter. That's why when John Elway won back-to-back Super Bowls in 97 and 98, when he
Yeah.
got, lost 3 Super Bowls beforehand, but you don't look at the numbers that he did. You talk about the greatness of Elway and how he ended up finally, winning.
And how you finish
Right.
matters.
Eli Manning's going in the Hall of
How
Fame
you
off
finish
two big
matters.
throws.
Absolutely.
You,
Because he
you
has
see what I'm
what?
Super
saying?
Bowls.
So everybody's story, I think what ends up happening. So I'm 45, just turned 45 January 17th. The
Happy
way
belated. Happy
Happy
belated.
So
belated birthday.
when we look at sports, right? For example, when we started watching sports, it was 88, 89. the Pistons, the Lakers, and then the Bulls three-peated. Then we watched the Rockets three-peat. So now we create our own benchmark
Two,
because this is
two
what we
Pete,
witnessed in
two,
our time.
two Pete. They didn't.
No,
They did not
I
three
went,
Pete. They
who?
didn't. The Rockets. You
Houston.
said two.
No,
You
you
said
didn't
three
listen to
Pete.
what I said. I said I witnessed the Chicago, I watched the Lakers, the Pistons, the Bulls three-peat. Then I watched the Rockets repeat. Then I watched the
Two
three-peat
three
again
Pete.
with the
Okay.
Chicago Bulls.
All right.
So what I'm saying to y'all is this right here. Now you have your benchmark of what we witnessing of my
All right.
age bracket. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So now when I see a team win a title and then don't defend the title, that's my own narrative. So that kid right now that's 14, 15, 16 years old that I was 30 years ago, they looking at the Kansas City Chiefs, and if they win 2 weeks from now, they're going to judge quarterback after quarterback after quarterback. If you don't win 4 out of 5 or at least close to
Or
that, you're
three
not
in
as
a
good as
row.
this guy.
Yeah.
Right, or 3 in a row. So what I'm saying to you is this: it's not the masses, it's the person who's actually watching and living it. It's so fortunate that when we watch them on television, they think they the ones telling the story. No, that's why my top five is my top five. I don't need somebody on television to tell me who my top five, especially when I
All right.
actually witnessed it.
Well, champ, give us your
You see what I'm saying?
give us your goats. Give us your top five in
So
the GOAT
so if
conversation.
we talking about the guys that I actually watch play, or if I'm doing research, because those are two different
You know what?
questions.
I'm a pull of you. You define it. You tell me how you're
So for
defining
me,
GOAT.
for me, is the eye test on me witnessing these guys play. I'm gonna just use my three for right now, and that's Kobe, Michael, and KD. That's me. I think Kobe Bryant is his story and how he got there. I think he's a better basketball player than Michael Jordan. I think Michael Jordan's the more athletic in his dominance in the NBA Finals. You can't take it away. I think the ultimate mismatch in the history of the game is Kevin Durant. I think you could put Kevin Durant on any basketball team, and what you see from Kevin Durant, you're going to get it. Nothing's going to change of his skill set. So I think if Kobe and Durant on the same team, Durant's the mismatch. You put Durant with Michael, Durant's the mismatch. You put LeBron and Durant, he the mismatch. You put him with Magic. You put him with Steph Curry. You put with any great player, and they all at their best. I think KD is the ultimate mismatch. Now, somebody go say, "Well, KD can't lead, or that he's not a better leader. He's not a better vocal leader. He didn't win with his team." I'm saying how I look at greatness is when you put all these great players in the room. When I've been watching basketball, I watch
Mm-hmm.
Dream Team. I watched the Redeem Team, and I watched Durant on the last four. Michael was
Mm-hmm.
the best, Kobe was the best, and then Durant was the best. So I judge guys when they all in the room, all the alphas in the room, and who stands out. Kevin Durant wasn't even playing, and he get on USA Basketball, come off the bench, and he just go crazy because
Real
he's
quick.
that great. He's that
Real
great to
quick.
me.
Real quick, because I want to add. I want to get other people too.
Go ahead.
But just a quick question. In the Olympics, I think I might take Melo over KD. In the Olympics, I'm talking
That's
about Olympic
fine.
performances. I might go with Melo over KD.
Right.
Well,
That's what I'm saying. So
he got 5 fucking medals.
Yeah,
no, you got four.
Melo,
So what I'm saying is
but
if
Olympic
we
Melo was
all
crazy.
listen to me. But see, Kevin Durant, that team is scoring every time except I think this year. So when we all look outside the window, right? If we compare a BMW S7 Series and an S Class, it's just pick your poison, which one you want. So that's what I'm trying to say.
I
I
understand.
don't like really having the GOAT conversation from a sheet
Okay.
of paper standpoint when we talk about great versus great. I like to have a conversation of what we watching. If you let's like this, if we gotta hit the rewind button to determine who's the best, then to me that ain't the best. So, for example, I always tell this to people when they talk about Tom Brady. Now, Tom Brady, from the sheet of paper standpoint, from the championships, greatest quarterback in the history of the game. But I ask everybody when they say he's the GOAT, which is I have no problem with. When did you determine he was the GOAT? What championship? See what I'm saying?
Tampa
Because
Bay
when
for
I was
me.
watching, huh?
Tampa Bay for me when he got
So
to
it
Tampa
took him,
Bay.
let's think about
For
what you
me.
said. It
No,
took him to
For
win
me.
7 titles before you made him number
no,
one,
no,
which is
not
nothing
for
wrong
me.
with
It
that.
did. Not for me. It didn't.
Okay.
When he won 3, I was like,
Right.
that's it for me. If you won 3,
So when
because I
Aikman won
ain't
3,
never
was
seen
he? What was
nobody.
he?
I ain't never seen nobody win 3.
I did. Troy Aikman did. He won 3 out of
That
4.
don't count.
There's levels to
So,
this,
so,
though,
See,
so
champ.
so
Champ,
but
Champ, you
There's
know
hold on,
why I
watch this,
levels.
said,
Champ.
and we're getting away from
No,
Kobe,
hold on,
but
watch this. But watch
you can't
this.
say, hold on, watch this. You've been talking for like 19 hours.
No, listen, the New England Patriots, you see the New England thing, right? His first 3
Hey,
championships.
yeah, land
His first 3
it, and then we
championships, I'm gonna go
gonna
on mute.
yeah.
His first 3 championships, I think if I'm not mistaken, he had 1 touchdown, the first playoffs. And then they beat the Carolina Panthers by 3, and they beat Philly by 3. Vinatieri was kicking the field goals on all 3 of those games. If they miss the field goals, they lose the game. So again, we all see the game different. I'm not getting into no debate. It is what it
Right.
is. You
All
can
right.
add Tom Brady. Don't bother me.
So you're not gonna disrespect Tom Brady. We're just not gonna have that. I don't, and I'm from Indiana, so you would think I'm supposed to love Peyton Manning, but the reality of it is that I can look in Tom Brady's eyes, and I believe he can bring us back to winning. I've
Mm,
seen Peyton Manning's eyes, and he looks shook every single time. So for
mm,
me, I look at somebody who will have my teammates ready to run through the wall. And that person is Tom Brady. And he will sit on anything. Like my boy played for the Colts. And he said the difference between Tom Brady and Peyton Manning was Brady would hand the ball off 30 times because he's trying to get the win. He doesn't care about the ego part of it.
mm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he played for the Colts. So for me, I'm like, you said the game's about winning, and then you basically made a whole statement about it being about talent. Because if I throw 10 players out there, you're gonna see the most unstoppable and the best talent. But if I put you out there with 12 players and you gotta lead 12 players, that's a lot different than
It's
you just
different.
been out there killing people.
It's
So
different.
yeah,
You talking
so
about
for
football or
Exactly.
basketball?
no, I want
Either
anyway.
one.
Right.
Either way.
Bro,
Either way.
Anyway.
if I look at Tom Brady and Tom Brady, I'd be like the Atlanta game or whatever. Like I believe
Oh
Tom
yeah.
Brady believes he can win at all times,
So let's
just
talk.
like Jordan.
Let's keep it basketball. Let's keep it basketball.
Yeah,
And
look, now,
Sonya,
No,
does
no, he
Mark
made a
just say
statement. Is
anything he's
that
saying?
Tom
hold
Brady's
on.
fault? Is that Tom Brady for Hightower making a fumble? What do you do? Told hey, say go ahead, knock the ball out. Come on, like we got to start talking real
That's not
sports.
what
And
I'm
I
talking
think
about.
Tom Brady
And
great.
what you're doing is the particulars of a debate. That's not. I said
No,
Hold
I'm
on,
I
fellas.
not.
believe he will lead us.
Hold on, fellas. We got a lady in the house, and I know she may have to go at some point. All right, Sonya, share with us what's your criteria. Oh, hold up. We just hold on. I'm sorry, Sonya. We just added somebody new to the building. Xenos, what's up? What's up, Xenos?
Man, y'all done,
What
y'all
it
done got
do?
me up out the bed with this nonsense. Can I get on the mic for a minute, man?
Let me give you the mic and let me ask you two things. Everybody go on mute for me. Let me ask you two things. What did Kobe's life and legacy mean to you, since you didn't get a chance to answer that? And then how do you determine the GOAT, since I know you heard the GOAT debate and
You
you've
hear the GOAT debate. I don't want to hear that blasphemy. I already know people over here talking crazy. Okay. Somebody done went out after my boy LeBron. Ridiculous. Somebody had the nerve to say he's better than Michael Jordan. That's what got me up out the bed. So let me just say this. Let me say this. First of all,
Well, I'm glad you woke up.
First of all,
yeah, he on the East Coast. He been watching for 3 hours.
hey, no disrespect to Kobe. Great dude. Great father. I appreciate what Estevan said. A very intelligent dude, knew the game of basketball. But I'm not here to talk about the man, Kobe Bryant. I'm here to talk about the guy that wore number 8. I'm here to talk about the guy that played basketball. So no disrespect to Vanessa and what happened. You know, I didn't like Kobe. From the moment he stepped foot on the court, I couldn't stand Kobe Bryant. Let me just say that. So you can talk about hate for Tom Brady, the 80s Miami Hurricanes, the Dallas Cowboys. My hate for Kobe exceeded all that.
You got to tell us why, though. Why?
Oh,
Why did you hate Kobe?
I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, let me just start from the beginning.
And you're talking Kobe, the basketball player, not the father and the husband.
No slander against him.
I'm tracking. I'm tracking. Okay.
Yeah. First of all, as a high school player coming out of high school, he demanded to play for the greatest NBA franchise in history. Come on, man. Like, if I'm going to come into the NFL or to the major league, hey, I don't want to play for anybody but the Yankees. I don't want to play for anybody but the Cowboys. Be quiet. Play for where you get drafted. If he had done all this in Charlotte, I would put him above Jordan. I would put him so far above Jordan and LeBron and whoever else, it wouldn't be no discussion.
Do you hate John Elway?
Hold on. Let me add to that. I don't hate John Elway. This
But
is
you hate
why
Kobe.
I'm going to
Keep
add
going.
to that. Shaquille O'Neal? Not only are we asking to go to the best franchise, we trying to play with the most formidable
Shaq went on the team
in
before he came to the
NBA
Lakers.
history. But
Shaq
he
was
was
not
there
a
when he won the
Laker
championship.
before.
That's okay.
Shaq was not a Laker there first. Kobe was there
My
first.
point is, he won with the best center in the league. In
Magic won with Kareem.
Give us 3 minutes, champ. Champ, give us 3 minutes. Give us 3 minutes. It's 3 minutes.
That's okay. So anybody who knows basketball, you know that Rick Fox was dominant at UNC. Rick Fox was a lottery pick. So anybody that's going to sit here and tell me that team wasn't stacked is out their mind. Then they go get the best coach in NBA history. The man had it handed to him on a silver, purple and gold platter.
They had the Chicago Lakers.
They had the best coach. They had my man, the point guard from Chicago,
Harper.
Robert Ory, one of the best players in the SEC when he came out. Rick Fox. Yeah. Then when Shaq and all them left, he picks up Manu. Come on, man.
And they had Tex Winter. And they had the triangle.
Come on, man. Kobe had it easy, man. Now, I'm not taking anything away. I will say this personally. One thing I really respect about Kobe, really what his life meant to me, was the impact of his father, right? He had a father who played in NBA. He had a father that taught him a lot of things. We can't say enough about the impact that a dad has on his own children, his own son. And so I don't want to take anything away from his talent. I'm just saying, as a Kobe hater, let me hate on him, man. He had it easy.
I want to ask before. Hold on, Shan. I got to say this. This is my best friend from college. All right. So back in the Jordan years, when I was just Jordan crazy, you know what I'm saying? I hated Kobe because I was like, Kobe's mimicking Mike. I didn't like it. And then Zenos was like, yo, I hate Kobe because I don't like his attitude. Who does he think he is? He's entitled. And we used to have these hate Kobe discussions. Now, when I moved to LA and I saw Kobe Bryant and I saw them win the championship, or maybe I saw them lose to Boston first and then win, right? When they lost to Boston, I realized, champ, I'm at the sports bar. I'm at Big Wings, y'all, in North Hollywood, I'm looking at everybody celebrate Kobe, and I'm like, yo, this is their Michael Jordan. I was like, hold up. If I was from Los Angeles, Kobe would be Mike to me. I would love this dude. I would be like, yeah, I F with him. You know, me coming from Chicago, you couldn't tell me shit about Michael Jordan. Everybody was less than Mike to me. So what I'm trying to say is, I gained respect for Kobe when I saw how hard he worked, how he didn't give up when he lost, how he came back and won, he overcame the odds, how all that. And so my hate Zenos faded away because I said, no, Kobe's actually what you want to do. You want to see the greatest and exceed them. That's what you want to do. Absolutely. But I think Zenos, you hated Kobe for another reason. Because everybody used to be like,
Zenos.
He can resemble Kobe.
Zenos.
And he got the same attitude as Kobe. Everybody was like, who does he think he
is?
Dave.
Hold on, Dave. We got to find out. We got to get to the core of this. What was her name? What was her name? Wait, hold on, dog. Wait, what was her name? I got to dissect a little that BS you got to spill it. What was her name?
There was
like you went to the game and she started hollering Kobe.
Damn.
Kobe was putting in work. That's crazy.
You was hitting from the back and she said Kobe. I mean, something happened.
Let me say two
Something
things,
happened.
man.
My,
Oh,
hey,
something
Dave,
happened.
I was
Okay.
I'm keeping it sports
So,
though. My thing
oh,
is,
keep it
let me
sports
say
too.
I was
I just want to
all
say
about
this
Mike.
though.
Mike,
And I was waiting on Sonya. I got to get
Hold,
Sonya in here. Go ahead.
hold on. Let me get a little bit of this, man. Let
Go
me
on the
get a little
cook.
bit of it.
Go on the
Right. It's
cook.
supposed to be
So,
my turn, I
Why don't y'all
thought,
Sonya,
cook
you know
off
right?
what he
what?
said?
You're right, Sonya. You're right,
Right,
Sonya.
Sonya.
I'm gonna go after Sonya.
That's exactly what he said.
Sonya.
Yes.
Okay.
Sonya.
So
Sonya, your
here's the
goats.
thing. Here's
What's
the
your
thing.
criteria for goats?
So here's why this discussion is so hard because you're looking at players that played in different teams. There were different NBA rules. There were different people and coaches and circumstances. There were different obstacles. There were different, you know, um, strategies, different coaching strategies. So you're comparing like a myriad of people to each other, trying to see who was the top person. So that's why these discussions are so challenging because working in the NBA, you'll know that there's different kind of rules that come out like every other year that's like weird, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so, but the rules that govern Jordan in the 80s and 90s and what we're seeing today is kind of different. It's hard to compare. So for me, my strategy is like, I'm gonna give them the top seven, but you got to have to be flexible with that and add other people to the conversation because they did play under different circumstances. So you can't necessarily compare apples to oranges. But I would say definitely, of course, Michael Jordan, LeBron, Kobe. You got to talk about Will Chamberlain. You got to talk about Larry Bird, Shaquille O'Neal, Hakeem Olajuwon. You got to talk about Matumbe. You got to talk about these
I'm
guys
wait. I didn't
because
hear you. I didn't hear your boy. Who your boy? You're not
he's
gonna tell your boy?
a legend in the making, right? So I can't talk about him. He's a little too early to
I'm
talk
not.
about
No,
Who's
like
I'm
that?
talking about. I'm talking about Dirk.
that.
You're not gonna put Dirk. You're not gonna put Dirk for your beloved Mavericks.
No, I gotta give him. I gotta give him a couple. He got to give us a couple more years, like
Okay.
John
Yeah.
Morant. He gonna have to give us some years and give us a
Okay.
championship. But
All
if
right.
we're talking about like GOAT for me, like the ultimate GOAT, talking about like worldwide impact and recognition, the person that sold the most shoes in history, that's Michael Jordan. You're talking about the most athletic dunks that came in his time and the versatility. He did things on the court that a lot of people had never seen before. You got to be talking about Michael Jordan. But, on the same token, there's other guys that are doing amazing things as well. And so you can't really downplay their contribution as well, because they played in the league at a different time frame or different circumstances. So that's what I was going to add to the conversation. That's my people.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
real.
All right.
Hey, Dave. That's what I've been.
Let me have a little
Dave,
bit.
that's what I've been saying the
Let me
whole time. Is everybody
let
got
me
their
have a
own
little bit of
opinion
this.
about who's the best? But I want to add this to my man what he said, and this is what I mean by when we had these podcasts. There's a lot of us in here, so it's kind of
Yeah.
hard to really get our point across. And it's like we just having a conversation. I get off. I'm done with the whole debating. But when somebody make a statement, I just want to ask this: you didn't like Kobe for going to L.A. He was 17 years old, and this is what I was going to tell you, Dave. Kobe Bryant is the greatest European basketball player ever, and it's not even up for discussion.
Mm.
That's what he really is.
Mm.
He didn't. It took him a long time to get
Italy.
Americanized. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
Italy.
saying? So that's the elephant in the room. And when you talk about a 17-year-old kid, say, "Take me to LA," and then you take Shaq, and Shaq couldn't win until he became a full-time starter. If we gonna tell like this. So it was Phil Jackson the greatest coach with Michael Jordan, or you gonna tell me Michael Jordan made him? Which one is it? See, we pick and choose on
Mm.
how we want to choose. Oh, because he don't see. I'm gonna leave y'all with this, and then I'm gonna go on mute. The media destroyed two basketball players. Two, Scottie Pippen and Kobe Bryant. The media came up with this theory that Scottie Pippen was robbing. Joe Dumars wasn't robbing. Robert Parrish wasn't robbing. Kevin McHale wasn't robbing. Dennis Johnson wasn't robbing. Bob Cousy wasn't robbing. Gail Goodrich wasn't robbing. Oscar Robertson wasn't robbing. They came and then they said Kobe was a sidekick. These were two words that destroyed. Like even with women, You're the Scottie Pippen of. It destroyed his name. It's like this is what happened, and everybody in every barbershop regurgitate conversations about it because we got this fake benchmark because the media don't know nothing about basketball. So they say this: Jordan is 6 for 6, never played in the game 7 in the NBA Finals. This and that. They can't tell you nothing else about Michael Jordan's career. That's all they can tell you. And then they think they sound cute because they on TV. You know what I'm saying? And listen, Mike great, Kobe great, LeBron great, Kevin Durant great, and Steph Curry great. It's all about who you like because they all great. You can pick and choose how you want to tell the story. Because I can say he 1 for 9 without Scottie Pippen. But Scottie Pippen got out the first round without Michael Jordan. Scottie Pippen played in the conference finals without Michael Jordan. So is Scottie better than Michael Jordan? I'm not going to say that. But we get too much caught up in the book conversation when we didn't live it. So when you don't live it, how can you really have a conversation and say, I'm watching this versus going back and look at it? That's all I was saying, S.
Hey, can I jump in here for a minute, man? Because I got up out the bed for this, man. Listen, first of all,
said you were watching for 3 hours.
Right. This is all sports talk. All right. So this is all our opinions. I'm not here to. Everything you said about Kobe is accurate. But let me say this. Yes, was he 17? Yeah. Me and Kobe, we're not too far apart in age. So I also was in my feelings. First of all,
right.
When you say you got to live it, I lived Michael Jordan and Scottie. Okay. I saw Mike getting knocked on his behind by the dirty, low down Detroit Pistons. So as a fan perspective, I saw Michael earn it. You want to know what what's that?
Where you from?
Oh, I'm from Alabama. But this is what I'm saying.
I can tell because you
talking
about because the Celtics was worse than the Pistons.
Well,
hey, Ken, let him talk so I can go next.
I'm gonna let him finish, but not in terms of beating his ass. Yes. He had his ass beat by the Pistons. But go ahead, Zeno. So I'm gonna shut up.
Mike's challenge, his hurdle were the Pistons. Okay. And so I loved Mike. The reason why we call Scottie Pippen one of the best players of all time a Robin is because that's what Mike was. A god. Okay. A god. And anybody next to him would have been called Robin. LeBron would have been called Robin. That's good, sir. So the reason why I hated Kobe was because I didn't see him.
Do it again. I didn't hear it. Do it again.
That's good, sir. I don't want to hear. Listen, Kobe-ites, y'all are like a cult. Like, can't nobody tell y'all nothing. So I understand y'all not listening to me, okay? I've been to LA. I've seen the Kobe craziness, you know? And from my perspective, it's only one guy that wore number 8, right? Latrell Sprewell. So I don't want to hear it, man. So
He's not used to winning. He's not used to winning.
You're a Knicks fan.
Show us the Sprewell one more time.
Hey, show us here with the spree, baby. Hold on.
You like people to choke.
And then
I just seen PJ Carlissimo the other night.
Can I please tell my top 5?
Oh God, hold on.
One more thing and I'm done. One more thing.
Right, so Zenos, look, we've been doing this to everybody, Zenos. You got 60 seconds.
Okay, 60 seconds. Listen,
and then we're gonna let my man AJ go.
All I'm saying is I didn't see Kobe.
Yes, and you next after AJ.
Like I saw Mike earn it. That's it. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
You don't need another 48 seconds?
Oh, okay. Mike's team was good without Mike. And when Scottie had a chance to get his own title and the Lakers with a 12-point lead with the Trailblazers in the fourth quarter with 8 minutes left, and Kobe and Shaq with that little alley-oop, I'm tired of seeing that mess on TV. Okay? That shattered me. That my little young
there it is.
Mind. Esteban talking about what's her name. Her name was that alley-oop, okay? That fractured my psyche, man. With your little afro. Afros went out in the 70s. Why you rocking?
Right. He was mad as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for letting us know you're a hater.
So look, I've been a hater since day one. And I'm
sorry to hear that.
When he died, I paid my respects. I appreciate everything he's done for the game.
Of course. Of course.
He's a good dude. I know he had that misstep or whatever, but just talking about everything else, his family, his kids, great. I'm just saying, when it comes to the sports side, I'm a hater.
Hold on, Al, do you have to go?
Yeah, man. That my bad. I know I ain't put too much input into the night, man, but daddy duty calls.
All right, man. I appreciate you. Anything you want to say for 1 minute before I let AJ go?
Now, you know what? The only thing I got
your goats. Your goats. Your goats.
I got Jordan, Kobe, and Kareem.
In that order?
No. Oh, in order?
You mean in order?
Kareem, Jordan, and Kobe.
Couldn't find my thing. Yeah, man. I feel you. Kareem, that's not bad. Yeah. All right. Appreciate you, Al. I know you got to rock out, man. Thank you, brother.
All right. See y'all later. All right, ass.
My man.
All right, dog.
Kansas City, baby.
Look at it.
You don't even know. You don't know nothing about Kansas City.
The Dallas Texans. The Dallas Texans.
Hey, we more than just barbecue, baby. We'll talk about it though.
All right, let's see. We see some.
All right.
All right, my man.
The only Dallas team that's winning right now.
AJ and the S.
Okay, so I won't be too long. First, I want to destroy everything dude said about Kobe not earning anything. First, Kobe was no. We got to address certain things. Kobe wasn't the #1 pick. He was not handed the keys to the franchise. Actually, Dale Harris didn't even want to play him. He had to earn every single minute his first, second, and third year. He had to play against Nick Van Nessel, Eddie Jones, and all these other guards, and actually had to kill to even get on the court. And he was actually the benchmark, like Temp said. If he failed as a guard coming into the NBA, we might not have seen the LeBrons and everybody else coming behind him. He has so much pressure on his shoulders. And then to go to the #1 franchise, it's even more pressure on your shoulders. And to shoot 3 air balls and all that, and then go back and say the man with the greatest work ethic of all time didn't earn it because he went to a coach. How come Melo didn't win with Phil Jackson? How come the triangle didn't work in New York since you're a New York fan? Like, what are you talking about? So we're not gonna get on that. Like, that just didn't even make any sense. That whole argument, I understand you're a hater, but at least be logical. Like, it doesn't even make sense. But let me get to the top 5. It should be a multivariate of things. It shouldn't just be winning. It should be winning statistics. It should be influence, impact, what you did to change the game, how you carried the torch, what you do, how did you inspire the rest of the league? When you got the title, did you dominate it? The reason I ain't got Duncan in my top 5 because I feel like he's never won with pressure. After he won, he never came and defended a title. All of his titles are just spread it out. So when it looked like he was just so consistent, and then when other things happen, and I'm mad at the Spurs. I think Tim Duncan's the greatest power forward of all time. But are you a superstar? Can you handle the pressure? Can you handle the fame?
Duncan won off of circumstances, off of things happening, and then
Yes, he definitely did. And we can go and look at all of them. It's major injuries and everything. He never defended it. When he had the bullseye on his back, he lost every time.
Damn.
And Kobe was 4-2 against him in the playoffs.
That makes Michael's greatness even better.
It could. I'm about to name the top 5. When I look at the multivariate of things, impact, championships, MVPs, all these things, there's so many things that you put it together. It's like a 2K thing. The top 5 to me is Jordan #1, Kareem #2. I always put Magic at 3, maybe because I'm just biased and I love the Lakers. Bill Russell, and then I had Kobe. Now, if you want to talk about my favorite players of all time,
Bill Russell, finally.
You can't disrespect 11 championships, 6 MVPs.
11 and 13, baby.
You just can't disrespect that. And don't forget
11
he
and
got 6
13.
MVPs.
You
He
can't.
didn't even take blocks when he was playing.
He got 5.
He only got 5?
Okay, 5. Okay, that's fine. My point is, you can't even take away, like, the fact that he didn't even have blocks. He probably was averaging a triple-double, and we didn't know.
Hold on. Let me ask this real quick, AJ. Champ Estevan, 11 and 13 in segregation. Can we add the signs of the times and the shit he had to deal with?
Time out. Like I said, I can dispute all that. Like I said, Bill Russell.
I'm saying 11 and 13 years.
Bill Russell. I'm gonna put it together. Bill Russell is the greatest winner the NBA has ever seen. I will sign off on that. Now, is he the greatest player? He's nowhere near. He wasn't the best player on his teams. He was a leader, but he wasn't the best player on his.
Who was then? Who was then?
Man, hey, you can start looking at him from Sam Jones to Havlicek, Bob Cousy. Like he wasn't the best.
Definitely was the best player on his team because he won in college. Everywhere he went, he won.
He shot 40% from the field as a big man.
That's a problem. That's a problem. That's a
They wasn't
problem.
shooting jump shots, my
Yeah,
guy. He was shooting layups.
That's the
See,
problem.
Dave, what I told you? Dave, what I told you? But right now we having a sheeted paper contest. See, my grandfather said Wilt was the greatest. I
Well,
can't
shit,
tell you
man.
nothing about
Can
Bill
I
Russell.
tell you who my top
Champ,
5 favorite players are?
hold on. Let me get a
Kobe's
little bit
my
off
GOAT.
because
I love Kobe more than everybody.
and I appreciate you coming on and saying that. I appreciate you coming on and talking about Kobe's beginning because that's what my man left out. Haterade left a lot of shit out. Like
Zenos.
he just left a lot of shit out. Like I don't know. I guess Alicia didn't like him and he liked Alicia. Alicia was kept on hollering Kobe. I don't know how that, but that's what happened. So Dale Harris made it a point not to play Kobe because he didn't want to show the rookie any favor. If it wasn't for Rick Fox being hurt, Kobe would never have been starting. So Phil Jackson didn't initially put him in the starting lineup. Let's get it all right. Rick Fox got hurt. Kobe started at the 3.
S, to be fair, did Kobe's arrogance as a young man have something to do with like
What is
limiting?
arrogance?
All of them are arrogant.
This is
Wait. All of them are arrogant.
Thank you. Kobe's greatest achievement is what y'all don't talk about.
All of them are arrogant. If you don't, if you're,
he was the starter for the All-Star game. Go look at that, and then guess what? Think about this. And when he passed away, the world told you the truth, what we thought about him the whole time. I'm telling you, the fans knew the truth. The media didn't want him to be better.
Listen,
So-
man, listen.
Go hold on. Let
this is
S
what you
finish.
get
Let
with Kobe.
let S land his plane.
okay.
Go ahead, S land your plane. I asked, was he arrogant? Y'all saying everybody in the NBA is arrogant. I can't argue that.
You have to be.
I can't argue that. Confident, arrogant, two different things, but we splitting hairs.
All
I don't
of the
think
same.
it was arrogant. I think Kobe was just socially awkward at the time because he had came from Italy. He just didn't.
No.
He didn't mess with other people. So because he didn't do that, and he wasn't trying to be their friends. And the NBA is like real sensitive about that for some reason.
AJ, you know what? I'm gonna give you credit on that because let me tell you why. Sometimes you gotta believe in yourself and just stop following the fucking crowd. And a lot of times as Black Americans, we just go with what other niggas is doing. And we get mad when somebody is strong enough to say, no, I'm not gonna follow the fucking crowd. We get mad. So I think you're right about that.
Like your man mad at Kobe wanting to go to the Lakers, but he cool with John Elway accident, not go to the Baltimore Colts, and he cool with Eli Manning not wanting to go to San Diego. But go ahead, I'm listening.
Damn, you just said the white man do it at school, the black man do it at the problem.
Those are not the best
He cool with Nick Saban quitting, and then
they're
to
not
take
the
that
best
NIL.
franchises in sports history.
Oh, that's
So
cute.
wait.
Invite me to your podcast, sir.
Hey, listen, Kobe did not ask to be traded. That was Jerry West and went and got him. Let's not even go there.
But can I ask a question? This is a real question.
Play for LA because that's who his dad played for.
This is a real question coming from a Michael Jordan fan. All right. Kobe Bryant in high school said, I don't want to play for anyone but this team, whoever they are. Right. Have you earned it, sir? I'm not hating on Kobe. I'm saying if Jordan said that, if AI said that, if KD said that, if whoever came, Daryl Dawkins came from high school, if he said that, I'm talking anybody that basically said, I ain't done shit, but I don't want to play for no one but the best. Isn't that kind of
AJ, watch this. Hey, Dave, listen to what you just said.
That's Eli Manning.
Dave, listen to what you just said. No, hold on. Dave, listen to what you just said. Repeat that again. For real, I'm being serious. Repeat what you just said.
If anyone says, I haven't earned anything. Yeah, I ain't done nothing. Meaning I'm high school, right? I ain't done nothing, but I ain't gonna play for nobody but the best. Isn't that kind of a slight versus someone that doesn't dictate where they get drafted? They just get dealt to the bad news Bears or the Clippers or whoever the fuck the Bulls who wasn't doing shit. And then you take lemons and make lemonade. You instead of saying send me to a lemonade place that's already got it clicking and tastes good and got the formula.
That's not fair because it wasn't. Like Champ said, Shaq wasn't there yet. So what y'all saying doesn't even align. It's literally saying if I'm going to go play, I'm going to take the most pressure ever, and I'm going to play for the best franchise. He went into a situation where I could have went to a loser franchise.
None of y'all. Hey, first of all, it was Jerry West that was like, "Hey, this is the best kid in the draft."
Right?
Knock it the fuck off.
That's a fact.
It wasn't Kobe saying, "Hey, I'm going. Nobody else draft me." It was Jerry West that had a draft pick and was like, man, this is the best player in the draft. I trade my starting center in Vlade to Charlotte to go get the kid. After I get him, I'm telling Shaq, I got this kid named Kobe, who I think is going to be the best player in the league.
Let's be fair. Let's be super fair. Kobe Bryant was an NBA child. His father played in the league. It's never. Don't hear me. I'm not trying to say nepotism got him to the Lakers. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is
Bronny situation.
What Bronny? What I'm saying? Hold on. What I'm saying? Hold on, AJ, just hear me out, AJ. Hear me out, y'all. There are the haves and the have-nots. If your father worked at Microsoft and was the CEO, you already know you got a job at Microsoft, right? But if you are Mr. Such and Such from the hood that ain't never had a family that did anything, let's say Derrick Rose. I'm just using an example, right?
Dave, God rest the dead. God rest the dead. Do you know who Jelly Bean was in the league?
Enlighten me.
Do you know what shot could he call?
Nonetheless.
Yes.
No.
What shot could he call?
But we're talking about access. Listen to
right,
me.
okay,
access.
Let him
what
speak
shot could that man call?
Hold on. Let me finish what I'm saying. Thank you, Sonia. I appreciate that. So
where was you at when I was talking?
Still trying to hear the question, y'all. Just still trying to hear the question.
Hey, I told you she was a lifer. I told you she was a day one answer. I told you. She been
I was trying to figure out where you at when I was talking. I got cut off 95 times.
No, but my question
the host.
is my question, real talk, y'all, just real quick, is, did Kobe have some level of entitlement being the son of an NBA player because, I've been exposed. I kind of see how it is. I'm not going over here because I know it is. Versus a little kid from the ghetto that's just happy to get drafted. He don't give a damn if he wear the Clippers or Bulls when we wasn't shit or whoever, right? He just happy to get drafted. Is there a difference between a person that had a parent that was in the league? Because that could make that kid entitled, and that could give that kid the background to say,
Dave,
I ain't playing for nobody but the best.
Yeah, but you
Dave, at that time, everybody was trying to find the next Michael Jordan.
Yes.
Everybody is trying to search for the next Michael Jordan. This kid out in Lower Merion was the one they was hollering could be him.
Yes.
Now, in Charlotte, he not going to be on TV. Let's call it what it is.
Facts.
His agent at the time was saying, we need to get him to a major market. Now, it could have been New York, but it was LA. They wanted him in a major market. He got to a major market. And when my man said he had it easy, he went and had to sit on the bench behind players that he probably would have been better with. If he goes to Charlotte, his numbers will be ridiculous.
Yeah.
If he's the number one pick, if he more beloved.
He was never handed the keys. And this is why I always told him, I said, that's why it was so hard for you to give up the keys, because you had to earn your keys and you took your key. Now, when it's time for you to relinquish them, now you ain't liking what you looking at coming through the door, Dwight.
That's fair.
You ain't liking what you see coming through the door. So I can't give you these keys because I had to earn mine.
The vets didn't want to let him go. Eddie Johnson and the vets, they didn't want to let him.
The vets didn't like it. They hated on him.
Yeah, you know what it really is though. And back to this, because the media, they really don't. These journalists don't really know basketball. They just storytelling. So when you look at Magic 1980 performance,
fake storytelling,
right? You put that in there. Where's Kobe Bryant moments in the NBA Finals compared to Magic, compared to Bird, compared to Michael, compared to all the other greats? You know what I'm saying? And see, that's part of the storytelling. So when I say the word living, and when I say the word living in real time, even right now, it's players today that we can be able to talk about, but 30 years from now, they're not going to talk about certain guys if they don't win. You see what I'm saying? And that's just like you got old heads that's going to talk about Michael Ray Richardson. But if we say that to a 19, 20-year-old, they're going to like, he ain't no
have a clue. But that's the pressure that was put on. That's the pressure that was put on LeBron. That's why he went to Miami, and that's why KD went to Golden State, because they felt the pressure to have to win. They don't talk
ring.
about.
But that's the
They don't.
but that's the media pressure. It
That's
was what
what we're talking.
circulates to
That's
the
what we're talking
barbershop.
about. That's what we are talking about. The
I'm
pressure
with
that's
you.
put out on it through the
Look, man,
media, and
and I
that's who's
hate on
speaking,
Kobe
and that's who's
without
telling
y'all
the
trying to
story.
add facts and data and stuff. I'm just
Hey,
trying.
I'm gonna
I'm
have
just
to
trying to hate
leave.
on somebody as a sports fan, man.
Hey,
Y'all trying to
Dave,
come
Well,
I'm
no,
gonna
here
you a
have
and
to
Knicks
say,
leave
fan.
in a
Hold on,
second.
Ain't
hold
no
on,
you a
hold
Knicks
on.
fan?
Hey, so let me get to my top
Oh,
five. Can I get to my top five? I've been trying to get to that for about an hour.
Sonia, are you leaving right now, Sonia? You gotta
Yeah,
go.
I'm about to leave. I just wanted to say one more thing. Like,
Okay.
with the franchise I work with, the Memphis Grizzlies, a lot of the guys that we have on our team now are juniors and their fathers played professional basketball. So back to your
Mhm.
original question, I think with Kobe, with him coming from a basketball successful family, if a goal is more attainable for you as a child or as a young adult, your aspiration can be much higher than a person that this is their dream. They don't know anybody in the NBA. They never played. None of their family members played. And so Kobe may say, "I want the best," because I don't want to say he felt entitled to it, but it was attainable for him. His dad was there
He could
in
see it.
that space. He
He
could
could
see
see
it.
it.
It
He could
was
see it.
reachable. And it's a pretty simple concept, just like the Microsoft example that you made. If a dream is more attainable, then your aspirations can go higher and you can see and visualize yourself getting there because you come from that legacy. The genetics of greatness is already in you in that industry. So I don't think he was being entitled. I just think his dream was more attainable than some other person that, came from like a lower income situation.
But
I'm gonna
So
let
you
you
have to have
rock.
the game to back it, though, right?
You do
Of
have to have a
course.
game. You do.
Nobody
Yeah.
said,
So
You do.
of course
You do.
of course,
You do.
that
right.
wasn't even the question. That's not even the
No,
question.
but that was
The question was in that moment, was he entitled? And my answer is
Entitled.
no.
wait,
Okay.
and
Okay.
that was my point. Like I get it. His name drew awareness of who he was, but at the same time, like Jelly
No,
Bean
it's
didn't.
not about, I'm not saying it was about awareness at all. I'm saying it was his personal situation allowed his aspirations to be
The
higher
exposure.
than another person.
If you could see
That's
it, you
dope.
could
That's dope,
believe it.
Sonya.
If you
I'm
could
with you on that.
believe
That's
it,
Yeah.
dope.
you
That's
can
fire.
No,
achieve it.
That's all it
I get
is. It's
that.
Yeah.
it's quite
I,
simple. Like,
That's right.
I get that
even
too.
like, the John Morants of the world, Jaren Jackson Jr., Scottie Pippen Jr. Those are actually my coworkers. I talk to these guys. I've done
Yeah.
projects with those guys. Their fathers had all played in the NBA at some point.
Absolutely.
So, their
But
Sonia, I don't,
aspirations are much
Sonia,
more attainable.
I know you got to rock out, Sonia, but
Mhm,
I gotta ask this question, Sonia, and I don't want to, I'm not trying to put nobody on the spot, but
mhm,
I think there's something to if my parents and my grandparents, like nepotism or family history, they've been
mhm,
exposed. If my father worked at Microsoft and he was a big wig, and they help and I go to school, I know I could possibly work at Microsoft because my dad was over there.
right,
Versus somebody that is the first person in their family to go to engineering school, the first person in their family to go to college, the first
mhm.
person in their family to work for a Fortune 500 company. You are just like, shit, I'm just trying to survive. I can't believe I'm up in here. Whereas the child of the Microsoft executive, he was 5 and 6 years old saying, I'm gonna work for Microsoft.
Mhm.
Do you think that John Morant uh not letting go of his hood past, if you will, for lack of a better term, and I know you may know these people personally, but do you feel that it's because the parents maybe have never been exposed and he's he's a trailblazer, so it's harder for him to kind of let go of his past because he's a trailblazer. You know what I'm saying? And let's look at Kobe as Kobe has someone who was in the NBA, his father, and so
Mhm.
therefore he could divorce himself from some of that extra BS and focus on the goal, which is a little more attainable because his parents have done it before. Do you think that there's something to that, or am I just
Um,
reaching?
no, it's a correlation, but I will say this without going into too many details.
Of course.
The situation you mentioned, he didn't come from the hood at all. If you really
Right.
study
Okay.
him, if you really
Okay.
study him, he come from an area that's similar to how I grew up. And of course, you have cousins and relatives that are in the city and you visit them in the summers and stuff. So, anybody can be troubled for any reason. Anyone can have a dark past
Okay.
in a dark present. Okay, put
Yeah.
it that way. But these people, they have a very extraordinary gift and talent and ability that is, legacy and, generationally changing type of, life, um, career,
Yeah.
potential,
Yeah.
and you see these bright and brilliant players all the time that fumble that in a way that they can't get it back. So we always have to be mindful of that. But my original point, it still stands that if you see it, your aspirations, it's attainable. You can have higher aspirations. And that's all I was saying. I didn't say he didn't earn it or didn't deserve it or didn't put the work in, because we all know that he did. We all know that all of these guys
Amen.
did, or else they wouldn't be in this conversation about the potential GOAT or making the
Okay.
NBA. Because,
All right.
there's only a handful of jobs each year available for
Exactly.
people to play as a basketball player
That's
in the
real.
NBA.
Very
And
true.
to S's point, you could be a
I
diva all
mean,
day, but if you ain't got the skills to back it up, it don't mean a damn thing.
you're not
Li-
getting
li-
on the
Running for
court.
league.
hey,
What are
check it
y'all
out.
talking about?
Hey, I've coached
Sonya,
NBA
thank you,
kids.
Sonya.
Okay.
Sonya, go
I
go to bed. Good night. That's
thank you,
Okay.
Sonya,
Sonya.
y'all.
Take care,
Hey,
Sonya.
I,
We'll see you
hey,
can
later.
I say something real quick?
I have.
Yes.
Why
Go ahead,
not?
Savon. You got it. My
Hold on,
bad. My
S.
bad.
Hold on, S. Only be. You know what, S? I'm gonna
No,
let
go ahead.
AJ.
Go,
I'm
go,
gonna let AJ
go.
go because AJ's a guest. He's new. He's new to the cribs. Go ahead, AJ.
I want to, and I don't want to take. I don't want you to think I'm taking shots at you. I just want to like understand this conversation because these things kind of like anger me in a sense. So, um, the idea of, because you have successful parents, we
Yeah.
just heard somebody say them are paycheck. A lot of people are paycheck. So just
Yeah.
because your father's in the NBA, Jalen Rose's father was in the NBA, but he grew up in the hood. Like, we have this idea growing up in the hood makes you tougher and all this and all that. Sometimes just having a father does. So
Mm-hmm.
the
Right.
fact that Kobe is known for his work ethic, the word
Mm-hmm.
entitlement should never come up, because even when he got to the league, he still had to fight to
Facts.
even get on the court. I think the word entitlement is what's making me mad, because I don't think he was ever entitled. I think he was willing to work harder than everybody. I think he was willing to do whatever it takes to get on the court. He didn't care. So the idea of the entitlement in the whole hood versus two-parent thing, like, shouldn't black people aspire to have successful things? I come from a two-parent family. My mother owns a business. My dad worked for my home. Like, they didn't miss one game. Now, did I have a different advantage because I had the
Hold
baby?
up.
Well, my
Hold up.
sustainable like
Hold up. Hold
today.
on. AJ, I gotta jump in.
I know a
AJ.
lot of people with two-parent homes are just successful families, and the kids really are
AJ.
entitled. You know,
AJ. AJ.
they do
AJ.
nothing.
AJ. Can you hear me? He can't hear me.
You got to
Keep
put him on
going.
mute.
Yeah, I
We
gotta.
can't hear him. We can't hear him.
AJ. Okay, hold on. I had to hold on. I'm sorry, AJ. I know he gonna be mad. It was sounding like a robot, so I had
Yeah.
to mute him because it was. Damn, I hate to do that because he going in. Matter of fact, let's look at him. He going in. Look at him. He going in. Damn, AJ, shit.
Hey, you know what? It's X fault. This is all
Still
X fault.
going.
We was
Hey,
having listen, we was having a
I
healthy
ain't mad at his
conversation,
passion.
and
It
this
I ain't
finally
dude
mad at
from
his
froze.
Nick on the
passion.
corporate
It
talking
finally
smack.
froze. It finally
I ain't
froze.
mad at his passion.
Ez,
I
go
ain't,
ahead. You had the floor, Ez. Go ahead, bro. You was
you sure, champ? Go ahead.
Hey, listen, we
go
Hey,
ahead.
Cowboy and Kobe fans. Shut up.
hey, man, listen. When we talk about criteria and top fives and GOAT shit, I look at it like this: when you have opportunity to win, you have the team to win. Do you win? How do you play? Where were you? Where were you on the floor? So when I look at it, I say, okay, Michael Jordan, he ain't never had a number two that carried his weight. He never could take a night off. If he didn't show up to be Michael Jordan, sick, drunk, whatever you want to call it, they was losing.
Hold up. And
He never.
I love Scotty. Scotty though was no slouch, y'all.
Wait. Listen, I'm not saying Scotty was a slouch, but
Okay.
Scotty never was. When did Michael Jordan?
Leader?
No. When did Michael Jordan ever have a player that commanded a double team?
Never.
Not
No.
Scotty.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
No.
I'm not.
Oh,
No.
I'm
no,
not.
man.
Scotty didn't command double teams.
They both great. I'm not debating it. You guys
Wait.
wrong. I don't agree. What's wrong with it?
Let explain. Go ahead.
Hey, listen, they are great. I will give him that. I believe a lot of people don't. He was a prisoner of the moment.
Yes, he was.
You got to understand that. What was it? In '89, he had migraines in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yep.
That was
2 years
90.
before that.
Game
2
7.
years. 2 years before that, he was a rookie and he was averaging 8 points coming off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're gonna push to 94 and 96, and he's top 50 in the whole history of basketball. But understand, it's coming off of a three-peat.
2
Prisoner of the
three-peats.
moment.
I don't want to discredit Jordan. I don't want to discredit this guy.
I don't want to discredit anybody, but once again, I saw it. I'm not going on what I heard. The Chicago
you
Bulls
older than
was
me,
the
so you
hottest.
actually, I'm 45, so you actually saw the real Jordan. I don't remember Jordan
Chicago
87.
Bulls were the hottest ticket around, so everybody was watching their games. They had a lot of games on TV, and we get to see what was going on. We get to see. Now, Scotty had some great moments. Scotty was a phenomenal two-way player.
Mm-hmm.
But let's
Was
not
Jordan
sit
a
here
ball hog?
and
Yes or no?
Was Jordan a ball hog?
Yeah, he was.
No.
Hell yeah. No, hold on. He was in the beginning. He was in the beginning. He damn sure was in the beginning.
Hear me out.
Go ahead.
Jordan didn't touch the ball in between the hash marks. So when they got the ball to Jordan, he was the striking point. His job was to kill his man and cause a double team. He was the best non-center that posted in the game.
Amen. Yep.
Amen.
His job was to make you send help.
Amen.
There, I could find Steve Kerr. I could find Paxson. He's a shooting guard.
Here's my question.
Shooting guard shoot.
Is Magic 5 greater than Jordan 6? Is Magic 5 in the 80s better than Jordan 6 in the 90s? I'm trying to see something.
No,
okay.
and the reason why I say that is because Jordan was the guy on each one of his teams.
And Magic had Kareem.
Now, I'm not one of those that says I can't
Kareem
put
was
Magic up there.
5 years old.
He was 492 years old.
Okay.
But
I'm not one of those.
But he was still 10 feet tall with an unstoppable skyhook.
Absolutely. I'm not one that runs with the ignorance that because Magic had Kareem, I can't put Kareem in my top 5. Because because Kobe had Shaq, I can't put Kobe in my top 5. I'm not one of those dudes. Because if that's the case, then we gonna discredit LeBron's championships. We're gonna discredit Kareem's championships. We're gonna discredit everybody's championship. Magic's. We're gonna go down the line and take them all away. So
y'all,
once again,
y'all older than us, because y'all 50. I want to ask y'all this because I want to just keep it going.
Hold on, champ. Hold on, champ.
Okay. Ain't no ages. Don't shame us for being over 50.
No.
Y'all seen it.
Isaiah is one of my top 5.
So respect your elders. Don't shit on us.
Yeah. So Isaiah is one of my top 5 for the reason of being that he had to build a team from the ground up, a little man leading the team in scoring and winning the championship in a big man's era. It was not heard of.
Isaiah, as a man from Chicago, so as a kid, I went to Phyllis Wheatley Elementary.
Not heard of.
My mom got Isaiah's autograph and his mother taught me when I went to Phyllis Wheatley. So Isaiah was a Chicago kid, but the problem I have with Isaiah is, and I love Isaiah, so I don't want to act like I got a problem. But back in the 80s and 90s, the problem I had with Isaiah is I felt that he was too much of a pussy. I felt like he whined too fucking much. Just hear me out. I'm not trying to disrespect him. Just hear me out. I feel like this is a person from Chicago. I'm like, bro, you're gonna beat the shit out of Mike, and then you're gonna whine when he finally beats you. You can't shake his hand. You're gonna walk off, and you're gonna lead your team in a walk off. That's a pussy move to me. And I did not like that. And I had a lot of respect for Isaiah.
He learned it from the Celtics, though, Dave. He learned that from his mentors.
Exactly.
So you're gonna mimic the white man. You're gonna mimic the racist ass from the Boston Garden.
Dave, understand this. Understand the competition. They didn't like each other. Like that, those eras, they didn't like each other.
I understand. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. No, S. I gotta say this. You know why he didn't like S? Isaiah took Jordan under his wing. Like they families hung out. When Mike came to Chicago, Isaiah was like, yo, let me show you about Chicago, bro. It's dangerous out here. Let me show you the shit. So Isaiah and Mike, and they were cool. But when Mike began to ascend, Isaiah's pussies got hurt. He got mad.
No, Dave, there's a price in winning.
Fuck out of here, man.
Dave, there's a price in winning. I can like you. Get me on the court. I don't like you. And
But
what
he
I
made you
do to you on the
personal.
court, listen, what I do to you on this basketball court, you may not like me out off the court.
But it was off the. Yeah, they was.
Hey, Dave, look how
Dave, you ain't
how
hear
treat me on the podcast. We supposed to be
You ain't
brothers.
hear
Look
me.
how he treat me on the podcast. You know
Dave,
what I'm
you ain't
saying?
hearing me.
He brought the Kobe hater on here to bother me. You know what I'm
But
Yeah.
saying? You know what I'm
Dave,
saying?
you ain't hearing it. So to go with my man Zenos and how much he hated Kobe is also how much he respected Kobe.
Yeah,
Because
I
you
get
can't hate a player. Nobody's hating Lou Walton.
Yeah, I hear that.
You know what I'm saying? So
I hated Larry Bird.
Kobe giving him
I
like
hated
stitches.
Larry Bird.
I remember in the 80s. I
hated
remember in
Bird.
the 80s where people were saying, I hate Isaiah Thomas in
Yes,
LA.
I hated Isaiah Thomas. Yes, I did.
You know why? Because he was busting their ass.
Because he's a winner.
Because he was busting their ass. It wasn't because he wasn't. They don't hate John Long. He was on the bench.
All right, so I got a question for the team.
Kobe
Hold on.
was putting in work. That's why he hates
Grant
him.
Long.
Yes,
So, yes.
but
That's what I hate about it.
let me
Stop
speak as
working. Go get some wings.
Let me speak as a host right quick. All right, I'm about 2 of these in. All right, so this is pure
We know.
alcohol fuel. Shut the fuck up.
Come on.
I need my top 5 too, by the way, too.
All right, but check it out. Here's my question. My question is this: If players are on the edge of being dirty, I'm just saying on the edge. Just imagine when the Celtics was doing shit in the Garden. Just imagine when Lambeer and Mahorn and them were doing stuff, right? The Bulls didn't necessarily they got physical, but they didn't get dirty. Does being on the edge of dirty, Draymond Green, does being on the edge of dirty, right? Does that take away from your talent and dominance and respect level? Because Isaiah and the Pistons earned it. They were fucking amazing, but they played on the edge of dirty. So am I being biased as a Chicago fan?
Yes.
Let me answer that.
How do you feel about
Detroit?
How do you feel about Shaq? How do you feel about Shaq?
Y'all are okay with Draymond doing non-basketball kicks to niggas nuts?
How do you feel about Shaq? How do you feel about Shaq?
Shaq is a great player. I like Shaq.
But you don't feel that he was dirty? Like he walked down to the paint and said, "Excuse me, let me get this spot."
I'm gonna be honest. He can't be dirty. That nigga's so big. They was
he led with his elbow.
But here's the thing, Shaq. You can't blame him for being.
Oh no! Come on! No! You can't do that, Dave.
He violated
Chris Belly. You can't do that.
Listen to me.
I'm here. I got you.
If Shaq is 7 foot, 350 pounds, whatever the fuck he was, right? And Draymond is, 6 whatever less, right? Draymond throwing elbows or Spud Webb throwing elbows or Muggsy Bogues throwing elbows will hit different than Shaq throwing elbows. So if niggas can slap the shit out of Shaq in the lane, throw elbows, do all kind of stuff to Shaq, you're telling me that he can't do the same all because he's bigger and blessed by God? No. If y'all want to slap the hell out of him and scratch him and do shit, then don't get mad with Shaq and put them elbows up. Don't get mad.
Dave, in basketball, at least back then it was. Looking at Shaq. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm hitting him first. I gotta hit him first.
Right.
If he hits me first, guess where I'm at? I'm in the front row.
You injured, you're done. Yeah.
I'm in the front row. So I gotta hit him first. So all the people that hollering out, like I said, if I'm not cheating, I'm not trying. If I'm not trying to get in there and box out, like man, I used to see players do some dirty shit, but it was all in the flow of the game. You go down there and score 2 on me.
That's the point.
You go score 2 on me. Okay, you score the 3rd one on me. Next time I stick my knee out and knee you in the thigh. This is what I learned from pros coming up.
Okay,
I think.
Go ahead. So you drop a couple baskets on me. Next time I hit you in your forearm, I chop you in your forearm, that little muscle. Am I dirty or am I trying? What am I doing?
I think what it is, though, fellas, especially y'all, the rules of the NBA is what makes us look at the game so different now.
That's right.
So if they take out the zone, just take the zone out. You can have a no hand check rule. Just take the zone out. Then
I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
We gonna view the game a lot different. And what
If
I
you
was
take the zone
saying,
out, if
X,
you take
yeah,
the zone out,
The zone
yeah,
out.
it's a better game. But this is what I want to see. Now it's a few of us on here. Now we can go into
right.
what I was saying when he asked me. I think Kobe Bryant as a basketball player, better ball handler. You know what I'm saying? He can get in his sweet spots a little different than MJ because he just the evolution, and he was a more of a European version. So that's what I mean when I say
Mm,
better. But far as physically gifted, Jordan was. When I said
Yeah.
mismatch, I was saying about Kevin Durant. It's not so. But when we get into semantics about pulling resumes, that's different. When I brought up Brady, is when the average person, when you watch Brady win his first three Super Bowls, you didn't go home and say, that's the greatest quarterback of all time. When Troy Aikman was beating Steve Young, you didn't feel that way. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
When Jim Kelly was beating Dan Marino and John Elway. But now we live in a time now that everybody want to be the first one to say something in a story as if they know. And most of those
mm,
guys who cover sports, they really weren't no sports heads like we were growing up, watching game after game after game. That's why we don't need a sheet of paper to talk about what happened. That the Bulls was a 6 seed in '89
right,
that made it to the
right,
conference finals. That was up
right.
2-1 and lost in 6 games. Then they came back as
Mm-hmm,
a two. Then they was 1 seed. You know what I'm saying? Then
mm-hmm,
they went 67 and 15. Then they end up they three-peat. And when Jordan three-peated at that time, that hadn't happened since the merger. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
So the merger conversation was what it was all about in the NBA. But to the guys who look at the sheet of paper, they wanted to talk about Russell Chamberlain and Russell resume, but it was two
Hmm.
different leagues. Teams was coming
mm-hmm,
out. You had the ABA, you had the NBA. Like the NFL don't talk about what happened pre Super Bowl because the Packers won three in a row.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
On the front end of they back to back Super
Right.
Bowls. But see,
mm-hmm.
what I'm saying to you is this: that's a historian who actually lived it and actually can go back in time and talk about it. So what I try not to do, especially at 45 that I did at 30, I don't want to discredit what Wilt and Elgin and those guys did. Because I was telling somebody this. I was talking to an NBA player today, and we were talking about this conversation. I said, Dr. J is greater than a lot of guys. But if you put the tape in and compare him to a lot of guys, he's not better. You see what I'm saying? But during his
Mm-hmm.
time, he was considered the
Hmm.
best player in
In
the
the
world.
world.
So
Can I say
when
something on
you
that?
ask that, huh?
He
But it's how
carried
you,
he carried the ABA, right? He carried the
Yes.
league,
That
yes.
so that's what I'm
which is
saying.
huge. Which is huge.
But I think it has to do with what you did in your time. Because obviously we can't compare them because they played in different times.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Correct.
I can't compare Michael and Kobe, even though they have some similarities. I can't really compare them because they played in two different times. Well, actually, they kind of went into each other a little bit, but
Cross.
you get what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So when I look at it, okay, what Michael Jordan did in his time, and I don't really get, even though we gonna count the Washington Wizard years when he came out the box, but we talking about when he was really in the thick of it. In his
Hmm.
11
Right.
years in Chicago, his 11 healthy years in Chicago, what did he do with that? Okay, now let's talk about Kobe and what he did with his time. Now it was 20 years, but it was a lot of injury years through the course
Hmm.
of, and it
Yep.
was also the beginning when he wasn't playing at all.
Hmm.
So now
Hmm.
you have you it's like Champ said, you have to tell us the full story, not the parts of it that you don't like and you dislike and you like. You have to tell the full story. He went from one part to where I'm on the bench to the top of the mountain. They didn't win until he became a starter. So I look
Yes.
at him. I look at Isaiah and when he got into the league and what he had to do to get to championship level. The Pistons gangstered their way into it.
Yes, sir.
They gangstered their way
Yes, they
into the
did.
conversation. That's why Isaiah is in my top. They gangstered their way into it.
But
And
they was in
his
five.
running
But they was
mates,
in five conference finals though. They was in five conference finals.
absolutely, but they weren't picked to
You can't
be
take it
there.
away.
No, no, no. I'm
Well,
not taking it
You,
away.
you
They
you're
weren't
right.
picked to be there.
They
You had
I
forced
give
Magic.
you
their
You
that.
way
had
in.
you had Magic and Bird and Dr. J.
Yep.
Jordan comes along, but Isaiah was before Jordan. They wasn't hollering to Isaiah.
I want to ask you a question, S and
Hold
X.
on.
Let him
After
land the plane.
after 7 years, 8 years, now he reaches the finals. They really should be on the three-peat. They damn self. They got cheated.
Which year?
88.
88. They got
Okay.
cheated
88.
I was gonna
on
say
a
Yeah,
not.
you
I was
phantom
gonna
said
say
on
not
a phantom
91. Not
call.
91.
No, on a phantom call against the Lakers.
Yeah.
Kareem shoots a side hook, and they called on Lambert for a foul. They
Yeah.
got cheated. They should have been on a three-peat by the time they lost. Jordan came in and did what he did. Okay, now look at the era where LeBron, and when LeBron had championship caliber teams, you don't know if he's gonna win.
that's what I wanted to ask you, and I'm
He ain't had
serious
no
when I
help.
say
He ain't
this.
had no help though. He ain't had no help.
So hold on, hey
He ain't had
Dave,
no
Dave,
help
I
to
want to ask,
Wade.
Dave, I want to ask you this question. I want to ask you this question because I got a theory. This is how I judge, and you may disagree with me. Before KG ruptured his meniscus,
Mm-hmm.
he had two teams that was good enough to win the NBA title.
Mm-hmm.
04 Timberwolves and 2008 Celtics. Then after that, he got hurt. They ended up making it to the finals, but that wasn't the same Kevin Garnett. When you look
Mhm.
at since y'all been watching basketball, who y'all think had the most opportunities to win? That's how I judge greatness too. And what did you do in those opportunities that was good enough to win it all? Like I don't look at
Okay.
the
Are
Heat.
we
I
talking
don't look
about?
at
Are
the
we talking about they
Cavaliers good
got to the
enough.
finals? Are we talking about the, good opportunities to win, meaning they got to the finals,
No,
or
no, no,
they
no, no, no. It's like
almost
for
got to the
example,
finals?
let me give you KD for example. KD team that went to the finals in 2012. They was some puppies. They was babies.
Mhm.
They played the Heat.
Man.
Then the next year they lose James Harden. Then there was some injuries. Then
Hmm.
2014, Ibaka missed game one and game two in the conference finals. Then in
Hmm.
2015, was it no 2015? Well, one of the years, Durant was hurt. They had some injuries. That was 2014 when they Ibaka. But the point I'm saying is 2016 is when Durant blew the 3-1 lead, but people don't realize San Antonio won 70 games that year, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm. Yeah.
And what's his name won 73. Oh, they won 69-13. It was 40-1 at home. They had the
Hmm.
greatest regular season ever in Spurs history, and
Right.
OKC upset them. And then obviously Durant win two titles. Then he ruptured Achilles. Then he missed a whole year. Then James Harden get hurt. Then Kyrie Irving get hurt. And then Durant with the foot. And he hasn't had a team consistently. You can look at the names that was collectively together with the COVID team and all that, that was good enough to win. Now, somebody now who like another player, they can't go in depth like that. So they're gonna say Durant didn't have enough, this and that. But then when you look at LeBron, they were good enough to win in 2011. They lost. They won back to back. But usually on the back end of a three-peat, you wear out. Then you had the injuries with Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving. Then they went in 2016. I
Right.
thought 2017 and 2018 was going to be the a clash of the Titans. It didn't happen
Yeah.
Yeah.
though. That was my theory though. That don't
Exactly.
mean the old
Exactly.
me would discredit LeBron or bump this guy. What I'm saying to you is this: as a sports fan, when we watching sports,
Can I chime in right there where you got
sometimes
to?
yeah.
Can I chime
Okay,
in?
go ahead.
So you said so in that series we thought Clash of the Titans, and this is my issue with players like Durant
Hold
and
on.
LeBron.
What year are we talking about for the listeners that
2017.
may not follow?
2017.
Who was it going to be? It was going to be who? And
It
Golden
was
State and
okay. It
Cleveland.
was Warriors and
Golden State.
Cleveland.
Yeah. So this is why I have issues with LeBron and KD. They don't want to separate themselves from everybody else. They
mm,
like staying right in the middle of the pack.
mm,
Like you got if you pull up the stats, and I just saw them the other day, they pretty much was equal. The difference was LeBron didn't outplay KD,
mm.
and Golden State had just enough to beat them each game. Each game was close. It wasn't no blowout. Everybody's hollering, "Oh man, it was so overmatched." They had KD. Man, these games were close.
Mm.
It came down to a few buckets each game.
Game
They just didn't
three,
get they
game
just
three
didn't
of
get
that
it done.
series.
So,
Game
but
three of that series,
when
they
you
should
say
have won
that
that series.
they're
It should have been a 2-2 series going to pivotal game five. That's just my opinion. But what I'm saying, Dave, is this: when we watch sports, right? I was a little boy, but my mother and my family used to tell me how great the '85 Bears was. So when I go
Right.
back and do the research, right, they was 15-1.
Yeah.
But then the next year,
We hold on.
The
We lose
Giants
a couple people. So
14-2, and
peace out to
was
everybody that we
unbelievable.
lost. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They was 14-2. So when
I
we
want
had these conversations
I want to
about
say this real
all this
quick.
stuff. Okay, what?
I'm sorry, I want to say this real quick. So as you mentioned something earlier, you mentioned about what did they do with what they had. I think that some people ride the middle of the pack. If you want to say LeBron, if you want to say KD, some people ride the middle of the pack because they're afraid of accountability. And that was the difference. And that was the difference between Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, even Kareem versus other people. They didn't mind being the guy. It was like, yo, give me the fucking ball. It's on me. They
It's to
didn't
be on my
mind.
shoulders anyway.
Yes, they and not only they embraced it. It's not like they shied away or no. Certain people embraced it. Larry Bird embraced it. Magic, Kareem, Michael embraced it. Isaiah embraced it. It's on me.
I'm from LA, so I didn't hear a whole lot of Magic didn't get that 1 year. Magic, they said tragic year.
Yeah, I remember that. That was yes.
But he was blessed to come into the league and play on championship caliber teams from day one. That it wasn't that he couldn't get it done because he got it done so early. Jordan was in a situation where they kept on saying he can't get it done. He can't get it done. So at the end of the
But
day,
he didn't have a team though. When you look back on it,
I totally agree with you. But once again, they kept on saying he couldn't get it done. He lose the
who was
Boston.
they though?
The people that you like to say, the media.
But that's what I'm telling Dave. This us three on here right now. That's what I called Dave and talked about. I said we in this platform, we have to change the narrative because we got to stop saying Dave. Okay, somebody voted for Michael Jordan. 10 to 30, 40, 50 people. 20 to 40 people is controlling the narrative on how we talk about sports. Like when I talk about the MVP and who I think should get the MVP, if I don't think he should get it, I don't label the MVP. I say that's how they looked at it. You see what I'm saying? And I think if we took, hold on every day, I think if we took more advantage of what we think versus regurgitating what they think, I think we got a better conversation. You see what I'm
So
saying?
let me jump.
Whatever that may be.
Let me jump in. Number one, you're right. Right. Independent thinkers, risk takers, people that have an opinion. We're all three of us are on here. We have an opinion. People that have an opinion, it's entertaining when you share your opinion and you don't care what the crowd says. So I agree with you. Number one, Champ, we have to share our opinion. Here's the second thing I want to say, Champ. The media has changed. Guess who's the new media?
We're looking at it.
It's us.
I want to get this story
When you
about Esteban.
when you look at Cameron, I will. But when you look at Cameron and Mace, when you look at DJ Academics, when you look at DJ Vlad, when you look at Shannon Sharp, although he is, in big media, I'm talking about his podcast. When you look at Drink Champs, when you look at Joe Budden, when you look at other podcasts, Joe Rogan, new media, meaning us, the podcasters, the social media people, we are the media now. CNN, ESPN, all these people are taking cues from mavericks, from individuals that's like, yo, I'm gonna do it my way. That's why Cam and Mace blew up in the world of sports commentary, because they said I'm gonna do it my way. And I'm gonna be honest, doing it their way was, I'm gonna say nigga, I'm gonna say whatever I want to say, like I'm talking like I'm on a block or I'm in a barbershop. Secondly, I'm gonna hire who the fuck I want. I'm gonna talk to Mark Jackson and try to get him on, although Mark did his own thing. They tried to get Mark Jackson. They got OJ. They got Michael. What's Michael from the Cowboys?
Irving.
Michael Irving. They're saying, I want the people I want, and I'm gonna hire them, and I'm gonna get them going. Mark Jackson, honestly, he didn't have to go with them because his son has his own thing. They got their thing going. But if Mark Jackson had signed with Cam, it would have made Cam and them even bigger, because now you're getting legitimate sports people to come and sign with quote unquote new media. Okay.
Right.
Here's
Right,
what
for sure.
I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. and this is why I'm so glad you guys join every week. We have to take this serious. We are the new media. We are the new ESPN. The world just ain't caught on yet. But these kind of conversations, the honesty, the willingness to talk about, this is what it's about. People are watching us more than they're watching ESPN. And I still love ESPN. I still love, network and cable.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't discredit what's happening over here, and we need to embrace it and keep going, man.
I
Straight
want
up.
to throw this in too about ESPN and these networks. Growing up, we watched ESPN, we watched the anchors. You know, being a journalist from we come from, it was corny because we played sports. So we didn't want to do that. We didn't, there was no debate shows. You had the sports reporters. So now I started watching Cold Pizza with Woody Page and Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless obviously a Cowboy fan. I'm a Cowboy fan. So to my knowledge, Woody Page didn't want to move to Connecticut, to Bristol. That's why Skip Bayless was Skip Bayless versus everybody. And if you notice, it was like how we were doing a few topics, but then it stretched longer. You had the two live
Yeah,
stools, you had Jamel Hill, you had Rob Parker, you had
yeah.
Stephen A. Then you created Stephen A. and Skip Bayless.
And
So
I went to
now,
school with Stu. I went to school with Stu that went to Tech. Yeah.
so when
And,
you so
and he
so when
was
you
like that
watching,
at Tech. He was talking this stuff at Tech like he did on Two Live
so when
Stools.
you so when you watching this unfold, we start watching it because Skip Bayless did his homework. That's what I appreciated with Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless actually watched the game. Skip Bayless watched the game. Skip Bayless watched the game. Now he had his notes. He spoke from a reporter standpoint. The other people said what they said, but Skip was actually doing his homework. So then, Stephen A. and them, it made a great marriage. But then the topics became more so into a character. And what we do at the
Yeah.
barbershop and what we've been doing all our life naturally is what they was trying to perform on television. So the people that look like us start watching it because it was a dummy down version of what we do. You see what I'm
But
saying?
but
Or how
better
we
but
talk
better
about
than the
sports.
network, but better than the network stuff. We could identify because it was
No, yeah. So
more
so
similar
so
to what
so
we were used
then
to.
so then what ended up happening is we made them rock stars because we watched them. So now what end up happening now with the podcast and everybody doing their thing, respect to everybody who's doing podcasts now. The people who went to college to be sports writers and journalists and get on these platforms, they became gatekeepers after that. When we were younger, they was not gatekeepers. They was just the guy doing the stories and telling the stories, and we would read about it and we respected them for that. But then when they tried to come in and discredit the guys like us who didn't make it to the NBA, who didn't become the Division I stars, like, hold on, y'all know more sports than we do. Wait a minute, no, you don't. You get our information, then you go on TV and regurgitate it. So
So
now the
I want to say this.
pushback the
I
before you
want to
say
say
that,
this.
the pushback is when Draymond Green and the other NBA players and the NFL guys got their stuff. The guys in the media who never played, they clap back instead of saying, you know what, y'all right, and we don't know as much. See, covering the game is you watch a game, and then at the end of the game, you talk about it as a writer. You write a story. Knowing the game is saying the Z, the X, the A gap, the B gap, a counter tray, loop and flash, a pin down, what I'm saying? Double high screen, what I'm saying? Just different stuff. 1-3-1, 2-2, 2-3 zone, just anything like that. Actually knowing the game. Like when we watch football and we actually watch the game, you anticipate it because you're sitting there learning from a coach, showing humility. That's what we love about sports. It wasn't about being right. We want to be right about our team that win. When we watch sports, when we watch Michael Jordan, we say, that's greatness. When we watch LeBron James, that's greatness.
I
When we
want to say
watch
something.
Kevin Durant, that's greatness. We watch Kobe, etc. But what we also said, when we witness some things that didn't add up to greatness, we was able to talk about in the barbershop without
Yes.
being called a hater.
I want to say something because you brought out three important facts. You brought out the person that played the game, Jalen Rose, right? They bring them on as analysts. They know the game. Tom Brady, Troy Aikman, all the people that played the game that are now journalists or commentators. That's an analyst. Then you talk about the person that reports on the game, the sideline reporter, Pick'em, whoever. They're
Ed
watching and
Warner.
they're observing, right, and they have various levels of experience. But then you talked about the anchor, the Stephen A. Smith.
No, Stephen is not an anchor. No, he's not an anchor.
Just hear me out.
But you got to correct. No, we had an audience. He's not an anchor.
Tell me why.
He's not. Jim Nance is. Jim Nance covering the game. You know what I'm saying? Al Michaels covering the game. Stephen A. can't do that. Stephen A. is a character. He's a jerk. No, listen to me. This is not hating. Stephen A. Smith is a journalist turned entertainer. That's what he is. Does he know? Hold on. Does he know some part about basketball? Absolutely. Won't take that away from him. But you cannot compare Stephen A. to Stuart Scott. You can't compare him to Bob Costas. You can't compare him to Jim Nance.
But we have.
Al Michaels.
I agree. But we have two different definitions of anchor. Hear me out. And I'm not advocating for Stephen. Here's what I'm trying to say. When you have a person that understands television, that understands ratings, and that understands takes, and that understands how to put out a product, let's say it's Stephen A. And you have a person that understands the game, like the stats, the details, and they know how to produce a show like a Bob Costas. Those are two different types of anchors. One is based on charisma, personality, and what's going to get the viewer's attention, and the other is based on the stats and the details, and the viewer is going to follow them because of their command of the details. All I'm saying,
ESPN's a machine. Listen to me.
It is.
Listen,
ESPN.
Hold on,
champ.
I want to, because we got an audience. When you make a statement, I gotta correct you when you say something. ESPN is a machine.
Yep.
You have Keyshawn Johnson and Michael Irvin on Fox Sports. I guarantee their ratings on that show versus when they was on ESPN is a lot lower, because we are conditioned to automatically wake up and let ESPN play. I'm not taking nothing away from the talent that exists on ESPN. Like Chris Berman, you know what I'm saying, is a legend. Stephen is a legend. Stuart Scott. But when we start talking about lanes, we got to talk about, we can't say that Eric Dickerson is a quarterback when he's not. That's all I'm saying. That's not a discredit to Stephen A. or Skip Bayless. Because what they brought, Stephen A. Listen, Stephen A. Smith is a journalist, and then they created a show that is what we do in the barbershop, and they put a female in the middle to moderate, to have a scripted debate show. And then it turned into what you prepare to talk about, and then it got a little more comfortable as time went along. And now it's a conversation on television. That's not what Bob Costas does.
Okay, I'm glad you said Bob Costas, because hear me out. Who and let me just ask Estevan, since he's been quiet. Yes. Who would you rather watch on a broadcast? Bob Costas or Stephen A. Smith?
Bob Costas.
Why?
Bob Costas.
Why?
It's not even close.
Why?
Well, because I'm not going to get all the antics. I'm just going to get the story that I'm watching. He's going to explain the game. Both of them, they're going to talk about the game.
Who would you rather watch? Stuart Scott or Bob Costas?
Probably Stuart Scott.
Costas.
Why? Why Stuart Scott? Tell me why Stuart.
He's just a little smooth. It's not who's better in that situation. It's more just the delivery. It's more just the delivery and how I vibe with Stuart.
Now, here's what I want to say, champ.
But Bob Costas, color analyst, these are two different. You're not. They doing two different things. If we talk about,
I do understand. Hold on. Let me make the point that I'm making. I agree that they're doing different things, but I'm saying to the average layman, you've got Bob Costas, who can cover baseball, stat heavy, and the Olympics, details and points and all that. He goes in. and he can anchor an entire show. Bob is I have a lot of respect for Bob, and Bob is extremely talented. But what Bob Costas does, what Stuart Scott did, and what Stephen A. Smith does, they move the needle differently in different
I
directions.
agree.
All right. And I think that Stewart was Costas with Stephen A. level or even better personality. And then Stephen A. is like, I'm Stu Scott and I'm relationship and I'm gonna give you my personality and I'll throw in some Bob Costas numbers here and there. Where you see what I'm saying? I think it
No,
would
no,
be
no.
like,
I disagree with. I think Stephen A. I think Stephen A. is the first journalist character ever, and that's not a knock. When I say he's in character, you know what I'm saying. So like when we sit here, like right now, we're talking sports.
but
You
Stu
know,
Scott wasn't
we're
a character.
no,
Stu
no,
Scott
Steve, no, Stuart Scott was giving us news. He's reporting news. He
with
was an
character.
anchor. No,
With
listen.
character. He didn't
Yes,
do it
listen
with
to me.
style and flavor.
But that's not what we saying. I'm giving you
Okay.
information right now.
Okay.
You know, Bob Costas covered a game. He like, you know what I'm saying? And he had to ask the play-by-play guy. He the play-by-play guy. You know what I'm saying? Stuart Scott not a play-by-play guy. That's not a knock. That's the truth. So what Stephen A did was he was part of a machine that brought the barbershop conversation, which is the inner city of Chicago, New York, Detroit, everywhere that we sit around that we've been doing all our life from the time we was 3 years old. I mean, we're 7, 8 years old in the barbershop talk sports. That's what happened with ESPN. The guy who run ESPN behind the scenes is from Detroit. So it's barbershop talk. So what end up happening with the podcast, you got the barbershop with LeBron and them, you got the boardroom, you got all the smoke, you got all the it's a natural for us because we don't gotta go to school for that. We are the school. So you can't, so what I'm trying to explain is you can't tell me how to talk sports when we've been doing it before you. You just happen to get a journalist degree and became a writer for the NBA and the NFL, and now we supposed to that mean you know more. I'm not saying that's the case, but I'm telling you those are two different things. The reason why we respected Skip Bayless in the beginning is because when Skip got on television, he stayed a journalist. He watched the game and he wrote down the stats like a nerd in school and said he had this and that. And he pointed out all he said about the LeBron Jordan debate in the beginning was let's just wait. Let's not give him king yet. It got out of hand. Stephen A, what he did was genius. He said, oh, I'm getting paid this kind of money to talk sports and add a little fluff to it and bring some character to it. So we can relate to Stephen A from the language and where we come from. He represented us. You see what I'm saying? We felt like, oh, he a part of us. No different
Yeah.
than a guy running for president this and that, because we never had that in that position. Well, dang, wait a minute. This is what we do. This is what us. I don't need no degree for this. Because look at all the podcasts now. All the sports, hold on.
Representation.
All like so now look at Pat. So now when you look at Pat McAfee is one of those guys. He got a sports show, but he's not part of the barbershop conversation. He's part of the former athlete conversation. There
Mhm.
is nobody like us on a major network. The regular guy who didn't go to school to be a sports writer is not on a national network.
Right. So that would
We
be
not.
that would
I
be
said the
that
non
would that
the
would be that
non
would be
former,
Cameron and Mace doing their own thing.
but hold on, they're entertainers. They former rappers. You can't
I
use them.
agree. No, I
You don't
understand.
have, listen, you don't have no guy who's not a former
Something.
non-Division One NBA, NFL player on national television talking sports that just naturally know it like we do.
Can I tell you why? And this is where I
I know
jump in
why.
as well, I'm gonna say why from my perspective, right? Yo, it's hard to build someone from the ground up and get the general public to listen to them. That's why they always get someone that played the game or that had some notoriety in some other industry. They- so it's easier to get people to follow Cameron and Mace, and I'm not
I
hating on them.
always stop y'all because I'm
Then,
informed.
then,
You know
then,
who Will
then,
Kane
it
is?
is for them to follow
Do
us.
you know who Will Kane is?
Yeah, I know Will Kane.
Okay, where'd he start from?
0, right? If I'm not
No,
mistaken.
Stephen A. put him on.
Stephen A. put him on.
It's Skip Bayless,
First
a
take.
regular dude, and now he
Yeah, Will
rocking
Kane.
over there. Will Kane. That's what I'm trying to say. So what I'm saying to you is this right here: the former athlete, the Ryan Clarks of the world, he been new sports. Well, right. So Ryan Clark get on TV. This a natural. This what he been doing. That's what they
Yeah.
do.
So they
That's why
take
you could
advantage.
take
So
a
they take
phone.
advantage of their opportunities.
No. I'm saluting. That's not the negative. What I'm saying to you
No,
is
no.
this right here. It's great. It's great. It's not. I'm not making the black and white thing. I'm saying the culture of sports talk. It's like this is what we do. You don't go to a hair salon and a barbershop all in one. I've been to one before where the barbershop right there, and the other
That's
side
the
is
one right there.
the women get, oh, Esteban, watch this. But the last 10, 15 years, when we come in the shop, we done have former NBA, NFL players come up in there. How many times is the women engaging us with us in the conversation? None. So you can't
It,
No,
tell me.
it
no,
depends
No,
on
I'm
no.
talking about
it,
when I say none, I'm
it
talking
depends
about
on if you talking about their team. If they talking about their team,
no,
if they
I'm
know
talking
what's
about
up.
when I'm saying that when I say getting the conversation, I'm talking about less than 1% in the last 10, 15 years. The point that I'm saying is how can I tell you about the streets of LA if I never lived it? And how can somebody tell us what we've been doing naturally for 30, 40 years? And now you want to tell me this how it's supposed to be?
I'm
That
trying.
would make sense.
I feel what you're saying. Now, hold on before we even get off track because we over 2 hours. I think we're at a good stopping point, but I want to close this out. We
Mhm.
are the new media. And yes, it helps when we have a cosign. If Stephen A can cosign Will Kane, if Skip can cosign Stephen A, if OJ can kind of cosign Mason Cam, or if Stephen A came on Mason Cam, cosign them. If somebody cosign a pivot, the point is, it does help when you have cosign, but you got to be bold enough, like we are, to get out here and do it. I appreciate y'all for joining, and I really think we need to continue these sort of shows. All right. And we gotta figure out what to do, man. We gotta figure out what to do if we're going to do some sort of regular sports thing, champ. Okay. Or
Listen,
not.
it's all in the making. It's all in God's timing. It's always a pleasure. But I want to leave y'all with this. The crazy part of the Kobe Bryant story. It it
Bringing it back
is
to Kobe.
I got to before we close out. Estevan and I, man, you know, it's my brother, man.
Yes,
And
sir.
I'm gonna tell you this. What's so deep about this story? Um, I lost my mom 4 years ago, and Estevan lost his brother 3 years ago. And my mother heart stopped January the 12th, 2021. They ruled her back deceased about 12:03, January 13th. Now, what's so unique about that and unbelievable is Estevan's brother died January 12th the next year. But
13.
I mean 13th, same
Wow.
day, the same exact day. And they died the same exact day a year apart. Kobe Bryant was the 13th pick of the first round, right? My mother was buried January the 26th, 2021, the year before Kobe Bryant passed away. And I say that to say this, uh, it's you never know the connection on how people be. Like I was cool with S brother and didn't know they were brothers. And we'd be debating in different sports
Right.
rooms. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
hanging out with his brother. His brother showing me all around LA. And then one day I was talking to his brother one day. I said, man, I gotta go to the barber shop. I gotta go to see my man S to cut my hair. Oh, you talking about my brother? I said, that's your man? I said, yeah. No, that's my brother. I said, your brother. The
Wow.
whole time, like, listen, I know this. I've been
Grandison.
knowing this guy like 3, 4 years prior. Didn't
Mhm.
even know they were brothers. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
and it was just so crazy, man, on how life is. And then here go the sentimental behind it, why with the whole Kobe situation. Of I just remember him telling me about Kobe death. We were talking on the phone. You know what I'm saying? I was calling him, checking on S because the night before Kobe Bryant died, we were all at the barbershop and
Mm-hmm.
talking about LeBron and Kobe, LeBron passing, Kobe, and we like, man, we ain't gonna have a debate about who the greatest no more. And then I asked
Yeah,
S, I say, S,
yeah.
what you doing the next day? And he said, yeah, I might go up to the Mamba Academy, you know what I'm saying, Gigi playing and this and that. I said, let me know what's up. I might come through. I'm still be here. So the next morning, I'm going Facebook Live talking smack, like man, with the whole LeBron thing early in the morning. You know, I get up early, and then I get a call. I don't even want to say who I was on the phone with. You know what I'm saying? They was overseas, and they tell me they said, "Yes, I was with somebody." They said Kobe Bryant is dead, and he started laughing. He was like, "Man, mad because maybe he mad that somebody's pranking and everything like this." So first thing I do is put in Kobe Bryant Google TMZ pop up. Now I'm
Yep.
outside of the W in Beverly Hills.
I remember
And
TMZ.
I'm
Yep.
walking and I'm walking around. I say, Kobe dead. Let me call you back. I call a reporter and I'm saying, it's true. TMZ ain't lying. I'm out here. So as I'm walking, if you walk from the W, just keep walking, you go to UCLA. All of a
Mm.
sudden, you had
He's in
people
Westwood.
in the cars stopping at the light. You had people looking at each other, shaking their head, getting out, hugging each other. It was just so crazy
Yeah.
on what was going on. I'm calling him, then I'm calling Chuck on the line. I'm calling everybody. I think I even called you, Dave. It was just the point that I'm saying is this right here. I used to laugh, not laugh like like to make fun. I'm like, man, why y'all crying about Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston? Why y'all hurt? What's wrong with y'all? But when
Mm-hmm.
Kobe passed away, it just had
Yeah, it was
it
different.
was just different. It hit
Yeah, it was
different.
different.
Like it like I was emotional for like 3, 4 days. And it's like
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
even now when you think about it, man, I just feel like as a true sports fan, I even went down to the Staples Center and sat around there and I saw Matt Barnes down there, Todd Bowles, he was saying Larry Foot, all them, they was coaching together. They came down to the scene. They like
Mm-hmm.
it was just I'm trying to think. It was just so many people that was down there on the scene and they was playing all the stuff to be a part of that and witnessing what really happened in real time. It was like then I started to process like what was people thinking? And I know the significance is different, but it's still death. When Malcolm Martin and JFK and RK, and I'm not comparing Kobe in terms of assassinations, but in terms of passing unexpectedly.
Mm-hmm.
It was like out of nowhere, and that big of a star to the world to watching in real time. It's like you go remember where you were, what time when that took place. And to sit up here and say it, it's like it would be the same if Tupac would have died right away. But he was
Mm-hmm.
shot and then he died 6 or 7 days
6 days
later.
later. Yeah.
So it was a little different in terms of,
Mm-hmm.
but if he would have just died right there, I can't imagine what would have happened in that time. But
Well,
I do know, with that Kobe situation, how my phone was ringing and everything and what
mm,
it meant. And it's just an unfortunate situation. 41
yeah.
years old, man.
For me, it was a little different because I traveled with him, and to see how he touched people, to see how people reacted to him, and when he just walked into a room, and being in China and seeing a dude run across the room, run across a parking lot with a GoPro on his head. He's heavy set. He's over there. He's trying to get there. He's trying to get a picture of Kobe that he's never gonna get. Just to see how that move people being outside the hotel and people just walking up to me and say, "Hey, you know Kobe?" I'm like, "Nah, yes you do, yes you do." And they just on me. People come to me taking pictures, because they seen me with him, or us in New York, and it's raining, and it's a dude on a bike following behind us. That's a crazy situation too. Following behind us, chasing the car down for an autograph, and then meeting us at Tiles. Then it's a picture.
I don't know what happened to S.
Yeah, S. Did you get a call? He might got a call. Yeah, he
Hey,
might
I'm
got
gonna
a
leave with
call.
this though. I'm gonna leave with this. I guess what day? If Philadelphia win, I'm gonna repost Kobe post to Estevan with the Philadelphia Eagle jersey on.
Yeah. Hold
That's
on,
the only
S, you
thing, you
there?
know what I'm saying?
S, you back? Yeah, he might got a phone
I
call.
think we lost him. That'll be pretty
Hey,
cool.
let me see. Yeah, we lost him. He may come back in a second. I want to say this right quick before we go. Man, the day Kobe passed, I was numb. Yeah, in the pandemic is when I started to go live, and I started to try to be,
My bad.
media. Yeah. I'm just closing out what I was gonna say, and then I'm gonna let you finish. Yes. It was just something else because when someone sent it to me again, I was going live. I was doing news stories. One of my followers sent it, and I didn't believe it. I was like, I said, "What?" I was confused. I was like, "This ain't funny." First thing I said was, "This ain't funny."
Right.
And they were like, "No, it's real." So again, I went straight to the internet, and TMZ popped up, and it scared me because I know TMZ. They early. You got to give them credit. You got to get them. And I said,
No,
"Shit."
they lawyers. They lawyers, so they
Yeah,
don't
I
put out
said
bad
if
information.
they don't put a I said if TMZ got it, I said, "Damn it, man." I was hurt. And I immediately said, "Oh, I got to call S." I said, "S, my man. I know he worked with him. He know him personally." I said, "I got to call S. I can't. I'm not posting. I ain't call. I call S." I said, "S, you heard?" He said, "Heard what?" I said, "Yo." He said, "Hold on, I'm call you back." He said, "I got to go. I'll call you back." And then S had to go do his thing. And then I called Chuck Taylor. I said, "Chuck, you heard?" Chuck was like, "No." I said, "Chuck, check the news." And he was like, "Oh, damn, you call S?" I said, "I just got off the phone with S." And we knew Estevan was close to the situation, and Estevan knew him personally. And S, knowing Kobe Bryant is like knowing Michael Jackson. I'm just being honest. It's like knowing Michael Jackson. It's like knowing Michael Jordan. It's like knowing Mike Tyson. You just don't get in those circles,
Yeah,
right?
I was blessed.
To go back to Michael Jackson right quick, I was a huge Mike fan as a kid. My nephew from a prior marriage, he knew Uncle David loved Mike. So I'm in LA. It's 2009. I'm working. My nephew texts me, "Uncle David, you heard what happened?" I said, "What you talking about?" He said, "Michael Jackson is dead." He said, "You haven't heard?" And I was like, "No, I'm at work." And he was like, "He's dead." And I was like, it didn't compute. So I went, and it was like, "Oh, Michael Jackson's in the hospital. Michael Jackson's in critical condition." So I said, "No, he's not dead, nephew. You still a teenager. You don't understand life." He said, "He dead, Unc." And I'm calling you
June
because I
25th, June 25th, 2009.
2009.
I
He was
know
like, "I
exactly where I
know."
was when it happened, when
Come
I got
on.
the
He
news.
was like, "I know how much you love this person as an artist and how much he influenced your life." He said, "Please take care of yourself." So I said, "All right, nephew, man, champ, S." Within 10 minutes, CNN and everyone confirmed it. Bro, I left work. I said, "Hey, I'm done for the day. I don't feel good." I left work. I drove to Hollywood. I went to his star on the Walk of Fame, and it was just people playing his music, dancing, singing, and praying. And I'm not gonna lie, I got there at 5 p.m. I left my job at 3. It took me 2 hours to drive through LA traffic to get there. I got there at 5 p.m. Yo, I was there at 3 in the morning with the rest of them singing and dancing on his Hollywood Square because I couldn't process the same way I felt when Kobe passed. When Kobe passed, and after I talked to S, and I talked to Chuck, me and my friends, Roosevelt, everybody, we went down because Rose lived downtown. We went downtown, right near Staples. We found a little brunch spot, and we sat at that brunch spot for like 5 hours, y'all. Just in shock, just having breakfast, having mimosas in shock because we 4-5 blocks from Staples. So we seeing people go to Staples, and we were
And
just,
I'm at Staples.
it's unbelievable. We couldn't believe it.
Man, listen to me, man. Let
when
me
you
tell
called
you.
me, when you called me, I
Yes,
was like,
please take it from there, because I can't imagine how you felt knowing him. I
man,
was fucked up. I was fucked up.
It was so crazy. What it was on a super weird ass mornings, man. So I was out the night before drinking. I didn't get home until like 3, and I woke up at 6, and I was watching all the Smoke podcast with Steph Curry, and I had never watched that podcast before. And Kobe would always told me about the one he did with him, and I need to watch it. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it. But I ended up watching Steph's that morning. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna talk to Cole when I get out there, and I'm gonna be like, hey man, you need to jump behind all the Smoke podcast. And they doing some live shit. I was thinking that, as I was going out there, I was also about to hook up my other partner named Olin, because he had a device, and I was like, you know what, I ain't gonna even middleman that shit. I'm gonna have Oli come out there, meet me out there. So I'm sitting there, and I text my ex-girlfriend, because we met through Kobe and this and that, and she was asking me about the shoes that they had designed for Kobe and LeBron, and that was some crazy shit too. But he was showing it to me, and then throwing it on the table. And I remember I took a picture, and I sent it to her that morning. And then I got up, bullshitting, and it was like, okay, I started my mission. And my last time I saw him, I was like, it was Friday. I was like, what time your game? And he was like, we play Saturday at 2 and I'm at 12 and 2. I ain't gonna be there Saturday, bro. I catch y'all Sunday.
All right.
So he was real gassed up about the tournament and the competition, and they had lost to Jason Terry's team, so he was pumped about playing them. And he was like, the weaker teams on this side and the stronger teams on there. We finna see all the smoke in these next 2 days. Everybody, the teams that we had lost to, the teams that we beat, it's finna be a high competition this weekend. I'm like, okay, so he was super pumped about it. So I'm thinking about, okay, I get out there. I pull out the driveway, driving down the street, and I hit the corner, get halfway down the street, and you call Dave. And you like, hey man, you hear what happened? I'm like, what you talking about? Like, Kobe died, man. I'm like, man, stop playing. You're like, nah, for real, Kobe died. I was like,
yeah,
man, I ain't got no time for that shit. I'm on my way to see the man.
Yes, you said that.
I'm like, man, stop playing, man. And you kept on saying, nah, man, seriously. And I was like, man, I'm gonna call you back.
Yep.
And I got to the corner. By the time I got to the corner, I had called his assistant, and his assistant was just fumbling. Understandably so. She was just, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna call you back. I'm gonna call you back. I was like, damn. So I'm sitting at the corner, and I'm thinking, should I just keep going? And then his other assistant, who just resigned, called me, named Rita. And she called me crying.
Oh God. And
I was like, it's like the bottom of everything just dropped out of me. I was like, you fucking kidding. And she's going on and on and on and on. And she said, and Jeezy's gone too. And I felt like a mule just kicked me in my nuts.
That was it.
I was like, fuck. So I hit that right. I hit another right. Hit another right. They pull up into the house. They hit the gate, and I sat in my driveway for 5 hours.
Yeah.
I couldn't move. Rolled the top down. My brother Dre came over. My brother came home.
Yeah.
He was like, "Are you all right?" And I just started putting me something together, putting the air, get my mind right. Next, they started bringing me drinks. I couldn't get out the car. I couldn't move. I was just stuck.
Yeah, G was telling me. Man, listen. The crazy part was, and this back to what we said about the media. The media wanted to be so right. It went from Rick Fox. It went to Zach Randolph and his daughter. It was just crazy on how the information they was putting out trying to be right.
Yeah.
It was all over the
It,
place.
And trying to be first. And trying to
Yeah.
be first.
that's what I mean by when I say trying to be right.
Yeah.
Sometimes, man, you just got to sit back and let life do its thing.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
just an
sitting there looking.
unfortunate situation.
I'm
If
getting
and if I'm
calls
not
and
mistaken, go ahead.
I'm getting calls and text messages and then I got NBA players that I played in high school with and other cats I cut their hair. They texting me and I'm like, I can't right now. Then my aunt called me and I was like, I can't deal with her right now. She don't want to talk right now, and I just ain't in the mood for talking right now. I'm really like sitting in silence. And next thing you know, she texts me, and it just came across, and I saw it. She said, "Just tell me that you're not on the helicopter."
Right.
And I was like, "Oh shit,
Yes.
I'm on a helicopter." I
Yo,
was like, "Oh,
I low key was when I called you, was thankful that you answered. Cause I
right,
mean,
right, right." And I'm gonna drop. I'm gonna say, like, what's so crazy was my last conversation with him was this. I said, "Hey man," I'm walking out there. I said, "Hey man, what do you? I mean, how keeping? How you gonna keep these young dudes out your daughter's ear? You know what I'm saying? Because she's about to. She was. I think she. I want to say she was getting ready to go to college soon." And he was like, "Man, I don't even worry about that, man. I hug them, love them, and hold them, hug them, and love them." I was like, "Okay," and walked out the door. And that was our last words of conversation. And it's so crazy. It was about his daughter. It's about the one that's still here.
yeah.
That was
Yeah,
that
man.
was
So being a foster dad of a niece and two nephews from my prior marriage, and my niece passing away from cancer a week before 18th birthday in 2016. Um, I could, losing a daughter, it messed me up it hurt me bad, and I had to grow a lot. So losing, a foster daughter, and then losing my dad, 2017, a year later, it messed me up. And as if I'm not mistaken, I remember when your dad passed,
yeah.
and see me and S got close.
Yeah.
We were new. We were new. He was newly cutting my hair. I'd only been to LA a couple years, but we were close. And when
Mhm.
his pops died, me and James made sure we made it to the funeral. And we were there and we were
Oh,
around. Yeah, we was around. And so, me and S had a different type of connection than me and my other homies, because, when somebody lose someone close and you're around, it
mhm.
means something. And then for me to lose my dad a couple years later, it meant something. Then to see him go through losing his his friend and Kobe, and then his brother, what I'm saying? It's just different, man. So I am honored that God put it on my heart to call S. And I was one of the first people to get to him to say, "Hey, you need to find out what's happening." I don't know why it happened like that, S. I don't understand it, but I'm just glad that you didn't hear it some other way.
Yeah, I'm
And I
glad. I think I think it was it probably was better, unfortunately, that it came from somebody, it came
that
from
you
my
knew.
because I don't think I think if I'd been driving and it heard it on the radio, I think I might have freaked out.
Yes, sir.
Uh the different, people that would ask me, what's the difference now? Obviously, I'm much closer to my parents and my brother than ever to get the code.
Yeah.
But the difference is, and because I cried. Crazy part, no, I didn't cry. I cried a lot. I cried for a few days, like this emotional, and because I kept on thinking about him being so young, being 41, and
Mm-hmm.
his daughter being, I think she was 13,
12 or 13. Yeah.
about to turn 14, I think. And just thinking about their connection, the love, how he is with his daughters. Uh, but when our parents passed away, like when we step outside our house, my brother passed away. We step outside our house, unless somebody knows us. Hey man, I'm sorry to hear about your brother, your dad. You know what I'm saying, your mom. You know, if they don't know us, then they just walk by. Hey, how you doing? And life
Yep.
just goes.
Life
But
goes on.
because this was an icon, and he's on the news every 30 minutes, and I'm saying like every time I look up, I'm being reminded by it. So my grieving was so much different from everybody else's, in a sense, and from my parents grieving. I can go play basketball and get. My mom passed away. I went worked out my son and this other kid to get away from all of it.
Yes.
My dad passed. Said I went to work because that's what he taught me. I just stayed busy. I just kept my mind going. My brother passed. Man, I just that just crushed me in a different way because that was my oldest friend.
Yeah.
But I can go somewhere and not and nothing will remind me of them unless my mind traveled in that fashion to think
Right.
about it. But when Kobe died, I'm at work. Shit come on TV.
Can't escape it.
I'm driving down the street. I see murals. I see signs. I'm
Hey, Ash,
driving
what
on
did I tell
the
you?
freeway. I see jerseys and shit hanging off this. I go out and have a drink. People that started to know that I was cutting him at that point. Now they're asking me, and it was like, damn, I can't go anywhere without feeling it, without reliving that moment. So that was probably the hardest to get over because I kept
Hey,
having.
Ash, what did I tell you? I said it's hard. It was hard for me to call him
Yeah.
Yeah.
because we that's all we all talk
We
sports.
bonded about.
So
Yep.
so so now I'm like this. I'm like I call him. I said, man, my bad. I ain't called you. I said it's hard to talk to you about it. And
Yeah.
then obviously what happened the next year with me, and then the next year with him was crazy.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
You
It was
know,
Yo,
it's like
Champ,
and the
Champ,
crazy
what?
part, hold on, but just with his brother, I'm texting his brother and asking him, hey man, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? When you coming back, this and that. And he texted me back. And then the last time he didn't. And then I get a call. This is what I mean by us, the crew.
Mhm.
I never told S this. Chuck called me that morning
Who?
when your brother passed.
Who did?
Chuck,
Oh.
he called me. That's how the group is. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He called me on the phone and said, Champ, man, I think S brother passed away. And I'm like, wow. And the thing about it is, because you don't ask those questions when
Right.
people going through what they going through. You just
Right.
hoping for the best. You know what I'm saying? You praying for the best. And
Mhm.
if anybody know G was always cool. G wanted me, he gave me LeVar Ball number when before Lonzo got drafted. He said, call him. That's my man. He cool, man. I'm gonna hit him up for you. I said, I'm straight. I said, now when I come to LA, we can put it all together. And you know what I'm saying? But it's just so funny though, you know, how G really was loved, man, out here. Like LeVar Ball loved him. You know what I'm saying? LeVar Ball spoke highly of G. You know what I'm saying? G was just he's just what he loved the game. You know what I'm saying?
S,
Only
I think
problem I got with G, you know what I'm saying? The only problem I got with him, that's my dog. That's my dog. But he's a San Francisco 49er fan. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Yeah, we had issues there too.
You know?
I didn't even realize it happened until I saw it on Facebook. And I think I met your brother a couple times at the shop. He was always super cool and everything. But by the time I saw it, you were probably in the middle of the whole grieving process. So I just said, man, my condolences. And I just couldn't even, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't even imagine because I know because I've been there other times.
Mm-hmm.
And this time around, I was just like, I can't even imagine. And I was like, because I'm so late to the game, I'm just gonna say, man, my condolences, because I know you're going through it.
Man, it's been so much, bro. Like
Yeah, I already know.
Other,
You got to
other
bounce. You got to bounce.
We
Champ, you
go,
gotta go.
hey, listen, we gotta set it up. We gotta do this podcast. I'm ready.
We do.
It's
We
time.
do.
It's time.
Hold on. I'm gonna let y'all rock out. Champ, I'm sorry for your loss as well because I think I saw it and then I just commented on Facebook, like, you know what I mean. So you know,
Okay.
Yeah, man. I love y'all, brothers, man, and I think we need more of
Same
this.
here.
And I want to say this too, just from a content creation thing. Thank both of you for believing and for participating. I mean, y'all have been here for various stages, so I just want to say thank you because you didn't have to. You don't have to take 3 hours
Appreciate
out
it.
of your night to do this. So, look,
But
man,
I
let's
gotta
keep
make a joke
building.
before I leave, though. I gotta make a joke to leave. You got to be the coldest MF in the country to be on live for 3 hours with some sunglasses and you never took them off one time.
Hey, man,
Hey,
you gotta live
bro,
it. You gotta believe in
hey,
yourself.
bro,
You
bro,
gotta do it.
bro,
You gotta do
bro.
it.
He never said, man, wait a
Never
minute.
adjusted or
The
nothing, right?
whole time did it just hey man, you might be the real Morpheus.
Oh
Ah,
shit. Red pill, blue pill. And on that note, man, we gonna rock out. Hey, thank you everybody. I appreciate y'all. It's your boy Dave Life. That's my man Champ, my man Estevan. I appreciate y'all, man. I'll see y'all on the next episode After Dark. All right, y'all. We out. Thanks, S. Rest in peace to Kobe, man. Peace, y'all.